Hey everybody, welcome to the Jim Masters Show live. Good to see you from all around the world. It is Sunday. We're broadcasting live from our home studio here, which is just outside the New York City area in the United States of America, along the southern New England coast between New York and Boston. How is everybody doing? Welcoming all the lovities, everybody that watches this show. We're on every single night, 7 p.m. Eastern and 4 p.m. Pacific live with our entertainment lifestyle talk show series. We go on location, we do food and music. We have guests from every kind of background you can think of, from television and film and Broadway and Hollywood. Lots of my celebrity friends, folks I had an opportunity to interact with over the years. I'm a professional television and radio host, journalist, actor, writer, producer, voiceover artist, stage MC. Been doing this work for a long time. And just about 17 weeks ago, here out of the home studio, we built the home studio, we launched the Jim Masters Show live entertainment lifestyle talk show series. And amazing guests have been coming on. We're booked with guests all the way till just about the end of October, every single night, which is absolutely unbelievable. The outpouring of support and love for our fun entertainment lifestyle talk show series from all around the world has been amazing. Viewers in Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, the United States, Canada. It's truly a blessing, and we welcome you to the show. I've got a great guest tonight, my buddy Neil Byrne, of course, you know, from Byrne and Kelly, as well as Celtic Thunder fame and his solo career. We've known each other for years. I've interviewed him on television in America on PBS for years, ever since I think Celtic Thunder was created. I've interviewed Celtic Thunder, Celtic Woman, the Irish Tenors, a lot of Irish. I'm Irish on my father's mother's side. My father's mother, grandmother, and great-grandmother and all, they came over from Ireland and they settled in New York City. They spoke Gaelic. We were just talking about that actually seconds ago with Neil. He's going to join us in just a second. First, we welcome everybody. We always have a toast here on the Jim Masters Show live. So we welcome you and you and you and you. And if this is your first time watching us, we hope you'll watch more often. We have amazing guests. We had Ryan Kelly on about a week or so ago. An awesome conversation catching up with Ryan. You can see that on YouTube at Jim Masters TV. Damien McGinty was here a couple of weeks before that. You can see that interview as well. Chloe Agnew was here from Celtic Woman and her solo career as well. Mairead Nesbitt. These are all dear friends I've known for years and have interviewed on television. And we've all stayed sort of together. We've all supported each other. Colm Keegan is going to be coming up on the 13th of September. And next Sunday right here, Paul Byram is going to be with us as well. And then we've got great guests all this week too throughout. So pretty cool. And we welcome all of you, whatever your drink of choice is. This looks like a fancy martini, but it's really just some ginger ale, some Canada Dry ginger ale. That's all it is in there. We have a cast of characters that we always welcome to the show that our audience loves. There's George Burns, the comedian, the legendary comedian. He greets everybody. He's always on our show every night. We also have Jeannie. Everybody knows I dream of Jeannie, right? Well, Jeannie is there and she's in her bottle and she's blinking at you and she greets you. And then when I was on a TV shoot in Europe, because, you know, I do all this television work, as they mentioned, we were doing a filming and we were in Switzerland, and this is Silver, who comes from Switzerland. Silver says hello. Real cool Silver lab. If I don't put these characters on, everybody comments, where are the characters? So we make sure we always show the characters. And this show is about light, levity, and love, or what I call lovity. Positive inspiration, good times. You always learn something new on our entertainment lifestyle talk show series. And there's Jimmy, all decked out in his Irish green too. It's a childhood toy, so we show him every night. Everybody's fallen in love with Jimmy the Clown. So Jimmy is there to put some smiles on your faces too. If there's kids watching, they love Jimmy. And then one last character who's new, who's joined us here, Gilligan from Gilligan's Island, that sitcom TV series from the 60s and 70s. I interviewed Dreama Denver, who is Bob Denver, the actor's wife. She's a wonderful actress and producer, radio station owner herself. And she was a guest on the show and she saw these characters and she said, I love it, Jim, but you're missing one thing. I said, what's that, Dreama? She goes, you have to have Gilligan on your set. So there is Bob Denver, bobblehead. This is Gilligan from the TV series Gilligan's Island, Bob Denver. And it says, aloha, Jim, Dreama Denver from Bob's wife. That is a beautiful gift, and we really appreciate that. How is everybody doing? We welcome you. We have a lot of comments here, over 100 plus comments. If you're watching for the first time, we welcome you. We're here every night. This show is a lot of fun. We're going to go to the comments, but first, because it's late in Ireland, it's like 11 minutes after midnight, we're going to go right to our very special guest. And during the course, sometimes we go to the viewers first and chat with the viewers, but we're going to go to Neil first because it is late where he is, and he is a proud dad as well. So he's there, but he's whispering not to wake anybody up in the house. So we're going to chat with everybody. We'll welcome everybody during the course of the show. And then when we wrap up with Neil, I'll chat with everybody more. Our viewers are so loyal. They call themselves Lovities because I stumbled on that word. I was saying love and levity and slipped up, and we created the word Lovity. So everybody that's on the show that's a viewer and a guest becomes a Lovity on the Jim Masters Show Live. Good to have everybody here. We've done all of our welcomes. And now it's time to welcome my fantastic guest. And again, he and I have known each other for a long time. And it's been something that, it's one of those things, you get a friendship first starts as like colleagues, when Celtic Thunder was first created, they came into the studio as they were going from city to city. And I was tasked with interviewing all the guys actually from Celtic Thunder over the years, multiple times on American public television. And then we just stayed together. We've seen each other at concerts. I've emceed various concerts for Celtic Thunder on behalf of public television, which is one of the hats that I've worn over the years working with public television. And it's just really awesome. And of course, Neil has that wonderful relationship with Byrne and Kelly too, and they have Byrne and Kelly, which is something that they've created, which is a masterful production. And normally, they would be touring, and like Neil was saying, they would normally be in the States right about now. But of course, with everything that's going on, I see all these comments here. I can't believe it. Of course, since everything is going on, Neil is in Ireland, and it's actually a beautiful time because he's with his wife and daughter. I mean, and it doesn't get any more beautiful than that. So if you're going to be home, if you're going to be stuck, that's the place to be. Our great friend Neil Byrne joining us here on the show. And again, keep the comments coming if you have any questions. Also, Neil is graciously, my buddy Neil is going to perform a couple of songs live for us as well. We're also conscious of the fact that, he gets up early in the morning with his daughter. So, we won't keep him too long. It only seems natural that Neil would follow a career in music. His grandmother was a singer. His father was a busy musician playing gigs all around Ireland. At the age of 6, Neil watched his father's 3-piece band play at a wedding. He says he really didn't understand what he was listening to, but he just understood it was absolutely wonderful. The native of Bray, County Wicklow, is where he's from. When he was 11, he performed for the first time in public at an annual Christmas function at the County Wicklow Golf Club, where his father was a member. His dad's band was playing at the function, and he thought Neil and his brother could play there with their own band as well. Neil never looked back, playing in several bands, including music legend Phil Coulter's band, which led to a chance for Neil to become part of a group of male singers. Coulter and, of course, Sharon Brown were forming this group, which became the highly popular Celtic Thunder in 2007. Boy, it's so hard to believe, 2007. So we've known each other since 2007 because that's when they first came to the States. Really amazing. Wow, time flies, huh? 2007. At first, Neil was a guitarist with the group before adding as one of the featured singers sometime later within the group. He continues as a featured member today. In 2010, he released a 4-track EP titled Sensitive Souls, which was very well received by the media and fans. In October 2011, he released his debut album, Pale Blue Jak. It quickly became CD Baby's second best-selling album that month and landed in iTunes, the U.S. top 100 pop albums. He's influenced by the beauty of harmony and counts Earth, Wind, and Fire, great group, among his inspirations. This all led to a successful partnering with Celtic Thunder singer Byrne and Kelly, who again was our guest here on the Jim Masters Show Live just about a week ago. That happened in 2012, that partnership with Ryan and Neil, when they toured the country as Byrne and Kelly, performing Acoustic by Candlelight. Their vocal harmonies that they share are often compared to Simon and Garfunkel or the Everly Brothers. In 2013, they were awarded Best Duo in Concert, Pub or Festival, as well as Best New Album for their CD, Acoustically Irish, by the Irish Music Association. The CD also reached #1 on the Billboard World Album Chart. Now, their second album, Live in Australia, was recorded live in Sydney in 2014 and found them once again at the top of the Billboard World Album charts. Since then, Byrne and Kelly have recorded Echoes. And when I had Ryan on, everybody was talking about how much they love that album, Echoes, featuring songs that both co-wrote. It led to a DVD documentary format that was featured on PBS in the United States and was a selection at the Fort Lauderdale International Film Festival. A very special occasion in December 2019 added another role, besides musician and singer to Neil Byrne's life, that of daddy. Yes, to his beautiful daughter, Fleur Noel, with his partner and Celtic Thunder violinist, Nicole Hudson. Singer, talented musician, songwriter, family man, Neil Byrne is indeed busy, and he says he wouldn't have it any other way. And during all of this right now, of this home time we've all had, he's had this wonderful opportunity to spend so much time with his wonderful family. We go back, as I mentioned, a ways. Here's a great shot of us with Keith Harkin when they were in the studio at public television, one of the first times when they were coming in. And we had so many laughs. It was really, really terrific. This is when Celtic Thunder was basically brand new. And I just remember all the laughs and all the fun we had live in the studio that particular night, one of the first nights that the lads came over from Ireland as they were performing. And here's another shot. This is with my friend Elaine and also, of course, George there as well. This is a very precious picture with George there. This is when we were actually filming a national PBS special, and we were doing what they call PBS pledge breaks. And we were co-hosting. I'm in the center there next to my co-host and longtime friend Lee, and then the gang. Neil is next to me. You got Damien and Colm and Emmett and Ryan and Keith, whole gang there. And then, of course, this is most recently when they were performing on like a 72 city tour last year. I was emceeing on behalf of public television, and this happened to be in Connecticut in the USA. Another great shot here as well. Cool stuff. So again, we've known each other for a long time, and we've always had a lot of fun and have always had great conversations. And that's what we're going to do right now for you here exclusively on our show. So we welcome the one and only Neil Byrne, live and direct from his home in Ireland. Hey, Neil, welcome to the show. It is good to have you with us, my friend.
Hello, Jim, and hello, everybody. It's great to be here. Thanks for fitting me in. You're obviously a very, very busy man, Jim.
My pleasure, my pleasure. And I'm so happy that you can join us, considering you guys did the Stage It last night as well. And you have a beautiful daughter at home, and there's a lot of beautiful things going on in your life, huh, Neil?
Absolutely. Very, very lucky, Jim, to be honest with you. It's kind of like a new dawning for me, if you like, you know, with a daughter. And it's been a special time. It's been, obviously, for everybody. It's been a hard time over, you know, this year has been a very, very strange time for everyone. But I have to say, I've been in lockdown since March with my lovely daughter and wife, and I'm very, very blessed to be that way. You know, I've got to know my daughter very, very well.
Right, exactly. And again, you're really seizing these very precious moments that you have, because normally you would be, you know, out and about touring, and you'd be doing a lot of different things, recording studios and everything else. So it's, in a way, it's a sort of a blessing that you have the time, especially during these precious times as your daughter, you know, starts to, you know, get older quick. The time flies.
The time is flying in. I know, absolutely. Yeah, I can't believe it. She's nearly 9 months of age now. You know, she's crawling. She's dragging herself up on the chair now. She's on the verge of walking herself, which is incredible. I just can't believe it. You know, it does fly along. You know, but I'm cherishing every day, I have to say.
Absolutely. You know, when I was doing the introduction, I couldn't even believe myself that it goes back already to 2007 when Celtic Thunder was initially put together. And then you guys started coming over, traveling all over. But first, of course, the United States really fell in love with Celtic Thunder, and then public television did as well. And that's when we first met that many moons ago, which is hard to believe. The time really flies, isn't it, Neil?
It is, just looking at those, some of the photographs you were shown there in PBS in the studio there. It's incredible. It really is. Like we when I talk to the guys, which we stay in touch all the time, even during lockdown, we're always on, on the phone to each other and emailing each other all the time. You know, we meet up when we can too. But reminiscing on 13 years now of Celtic Thunder, it's crazy to think of that. 13 years, you know. We're blessed as well that the show has continued for such a long time, you know, because we really, really love what we do, you know, and we're hoping, you know, sooner than later we'll get back to it, Jim.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's go back in time a little bit, Neil. You really have had a fabulous interest in music all the way back with your dad, right?
That's very true. That's very true. Yeah, I mean,
don't you love that shot?
I do love that shot, and believe it or not, over in the corner of the room here, I have that. I'm looking at it twice here. It's over on the windowsill over the far side here, you know. And I really cherish that. Yeah, because I even remember that day like yesterday, you know. My dad with his Telecaster, and he bought me a Telecaster when I was that. I think I was probably about 10 or 11 there. But and it was around Christmas time, because I remember that jumper as well. I got that that I was wearing there. It was around Christmas time. But I used to love, myself and Dad used to go into the room there, and we'd plug in the two guitars and we'd play together for hours. And I learned from Dad, you know. It's
absolutely.
I cherish that shot there, and my brother there as well. The two of us playing. We used to go in and play for a long time. We used to make up little medleys that we used to play to as well. And it was kind of maybe missing a chord or something. I'd go into Dad and ask him, you know, what we put in here, or how do we get from that song into the next song? And it was great to have a mentor like that, Jim, you know. And then of course started going along to a lot of my dad's gigs and all that, you know, the ones he could bring me to, you know. And I suppose I fell in love with the sound of it all. I just was completely engrossed in it, and at a very early age, that is just, I never had anything else that I wanted to do, and I was never that good in school, to be honest with you, you know. And I think it was because I was always a bit of a daydreamer, and I always wanted to be a musician, always thinking about out on the road and out playing, you know. And I just got into it in an early age, and it got under my skin, and that was it, you know. I'm still going now after, you know, many moons.
You haven't changed. You look the same.
You're very, very polite, Jim. Very polite.
It's got to be it's definitely got to be an Irish thing. We don't age, Neil. We just look the same. I think it's all of our Irish wit and humor and levity. Maybe that's what it is. Keeps us going.
Maybe it is. That's what keeps it. Yeah, I think the sense of humor is a big thing, Jim. You know, you have to laugh. You know, you just have to laugh. You have to see the bright side of things. You know. And
absolutely,
that definitely keeps us going, all right.
How have you been dealing with everything that's been happening with, obviously, you know, Celtic Thunder itself was embarking on this major tour, which now, I remember when Ryan was on, he was saying that it looks like it's probably not going to be till the fall of 2021. So with that, what are some things you've been doing in addition to being there with your loved ones, that you've been doing to be creative? Have you been writing songs, communicating, doing different things, keep things flowing?
Yeah, absolutely, Jim. You know, I mean, I find, you know, sometimes maybe when I come home from a tour and I have maybe a month off, I'll take a bit of time, but it might be only a week or a week and a half, and I kind of get back into it. it's a very, very strange feeling when you've been, for the last 13 years, you've been on the road consistently, and you're spending maybe 7, 8, even 9 months of the year on the road away from home, whether it be in the States, Canada, Australia, wherever it is, or doing some gigs here. When that all disappears, it's just a very, very strange existence. But I'm in a good, with a good circle of people that I'm really very blessed to be with. You know, I do a lot of writing with different people. I love writing. I write with Ryan. I write with different people with different genres of music as well. And so I love to keep a bit of a routine and keep kind of disciplined. I got into a kind of a routine of maybe even putting a cover song up online every week. I think since lockdown I maybe missed about 2 weeks because I was busy in studio recording and working. So with doing that, it kind of keeps me disciplined and keeps me maybe a little bit fit at what I do, if you like, you know, because if you kind of come away completely from the live performance, you know, like anything, like a sports person, if you're not doing it, you'll become unfit at it, you know. So I wanted to keep a certain discipline there. And you know, so I do a lot of work in studio as well. So it's really, that's really kept me going as well. And along with the songwriting, I have been busy, you know, which has been good, you know, because you like to be one step ahead. You like to think, when, please God, everything goes back to normal and we get back out on the road, that I am a kind of a step ahead with it, you know, and I have products and I have, you know, new music to introduce and something to offer, maybe, you know. So that's kind of the way I look at it.
Absolutely, best way to do it. Lots of great, everybody's welcoming you here from literally all over, which is fantastic. Nice comments coming in, and thank you for staying up for us. And
Jim, you're very welcome. And a big hello to everybody. Thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Absolutely, coming in from all over the world. I mentioned in the introduction some of the when Phil, the amazing Phil Coulter, and when Sharon Brown were sort of formalizing this idea of bringing the lads together and creating something like Celtic Thunder, which was unique because you always had various people like the wonderful Frank Patterson, who I interviewed many times. He was wonderful. And the various tenors that came over, the Irish tenors, the different, but Celtic Thunder and Celtic Woman were really unique in sound, unique in look, unique in style. When you first found out about this opportunity with Celtic Thunder, how did that happen? And what was your, you know, response? Were you like, wow, this is amazing. I'm going to be a part of a group that's formalizing that could turn into something big, maybe. How did you handle it, and how'd that happen, that opportunity?
It actually happened. I remember at the time I was playing in Phil Coulter's band, and I was in the States. We were doing a tour. It was Phil's own tour, you know, so we were on the road, and that was my first taste of touring in America. I think it was about a month. I think the tour was. It wasn't too long, but it was really, really, really enjoyable. I was playing bass guitar for Phil at the time, and it was just shortly after we got home that tour. I think it was the start of 2007, and then he told me about the concept for Celtic Thunder, you know, and asked me would I be interested in playing guitar for this new show. And I was kind of going, you know, a new show, like, you know, I never envisaged myself to be involved in a show. It was always bands that I played with, and rock groups, pop groups, funk groups, you know, it was all that type of thing. And I suppose from an early age, when you have that in your head, it was hard to think of something else and going down a kind of a different avenue, even though it's all under the same umbrella. It's all music, really. But when he showed me, I remember him bringing me through what this show was all about, and about the characters and the music that was going to be played in it, which was so diverse, and primarily Irish music, obviously, but quite diverse at the same time, and what my role would be. Then I got Sharon. I remember Sharon ringing me one day and introduced herself and asked me would I be interested in playing on the first DVD which was called This Show, and it was filmed in Dublin as well. And there was no talk just yet of a tour. And so I said, I'd love to do it. I'd absolutely love to do it. So we shot that special, and it was fantastic because it was a huge spectacle. You know, there was no stone left unturned, even with regards to the music, the choreography, the singing, the playing. Everything was done down to a T, and it was a real eye opener. To have these professionals around me, and I was going, oh my God, I can learn a lot from these people, So I was just over the moon that I'd landed kind of the job. And as I said, I just thought it was for that special at the time. But then after that, it was a few months after when Phil and Sharon rang me then and said, we're taking this on the road. How would you feel about coming on the road to America and Canada primarily, And I said, I think I was so excited. I was lost for words. I was like, this is just fantastic. This is absolutely wonderful. And it was happening at a great time in my life as well, And I'd kind of gained a lot of experience prior to it, but I knew I had so much experience to gain from it. So it was just at the right time, Jim, and I knew I was going to be playing amidst this fantastic ensemble of people as well, So which have become some of my best friends,
When you
and as you
think
said,
about it,
13 years later, it's we're still going strong. It's pretty incredible,
What's really great too is you guys play off each other so brilliantly too. You can see that you have a lot of fun together, and I think that's awesome. You really you respect each other's talents. You respect what each member of the group brings to the table, their uniqueness, which I think is really awesome. That doesn't always happen in a lot of different groups, but with you guys, you've melded beautifully together, which I think is great.
Yeah, there's a great camaraderie, I have to say, Jim, and it's there's no better feeling when you're going to work and you're working amongst people that you have a really good camaraderie with, because I think we've all been there in various and different situations that maybe you're with people that don't hit it off with people, and it can be maybe not such a nice atmosphere, and it's terrible that you feel maybe that has to be forced to try and make it work, but we're very lucky with Celtic Thunder, and I've said it a few times. I over the years, there's so many of different crew that have come in to Celtic Thunder and have seen us kind of, work during the day, and then in a social aspect as well, on days off, that we go out together and we do things together. We play golf. We maybe go for a drink after a show, going into a day off. We go on these outings together, and we ask the crew to come too, and stagehands, and we kind of stick together. And they're saying that, like you said, Dave said, this is very rare. They've had many shows, many groups, and it's usually pockets of people stick together. But I don't know, it's the way it's been from the beginning, and we kind of carried on that way, But it is a lovely way to be, and it's a lovely environment to work in,
It really is. I want to show some of the photos that we have from over the years. It really is amazing. Before I do that, this was a beautiful thing. David Monroe captured these hands of your father, and then that was turned into this. Tell us about this. This is something really special. A lot of people, fans and other folks that are watching, this show right now with us together, might not know anything about this, or maybe only knew a little bit about it. Tell us about this, because I know that this is something very special to you.
Yes, indeed. Going back to just over a couple of years ago now, my dad sadly passed away from dementia, and when my dad was ill, David very kindly offered to draw my dad's hands, and he put it in a lovely way. David said, he said, you know, in a person's hands, the lifelines, you know, your lifelines are in your hands, you know, and obviously, you know, there's character in hands as well when you look at a person's hands. And I never thought of it that way. And he said, how would you feel about me sketching that? And so I said it to my dad, and my dad was really happy about that. And we took photographs of my dad's hands. And I basically brought it to David, and he just drew this absolutely wonderful, wonderful picture. And it hangs up in the family home now, in the hall of the family home. And I see it every time I go into the family home there, you know, and it's my dad's precious hands, you know, and every time I look at them, he's brought my dad's hands to life, you know, and it's such a wonderful thing. When I look at them, I think of all the hard work he did for us with those hands, with playing all those gigs throughout his life, and he was also a car mechanic as well for many years. He just worked really, really hard to support the family, and he was a very loving person. So when I look at those hands, I see all of that in them, you know.
Yeah, that's a beautiful, again, a real beautiful thing to share and to gift you those hands. Here's another shot of you going back. There's Neil.
Do you know where that is? That's in Spain, believe it or not. That's
in Spain. Wow.
It's in Spain, yeah. That was on a family holiday, a family vacation.
Now tell me, folks, look at Neil there. Look at Neil there. Same. And you know what? It's our Irish in us. They keep us looking fresh. You know what it is? Somebody says it's because of the Jameson whiskey. Could be.
Oh, God, yeah, I know. Yeah. That's become a bit of a tradition with the Byrne and Kelly gigs, you know, Jim.
Ryan had a little bit. First, he started with water, and then I showed him the martini glass. He says, "Oh, can I go change out my water?" And he did.
Oh, yeah.
But here's some cool shots, you know, over the years. And I had asked Ryan this too. It was obviously such an extraordinary and shocking loss when George passed. And I remember when you guys came to the studio after that, and, you know, when you came back to America and was, you know, doing the touring for Celtic Thunder. Of course, this shot was precious because this was one of the last, actually, that I know that we had taken together with George in the studio. That was a significant, shocking loss. How did you handle that as well? I know Ryan had mentioned, you know, that he really was, being one of the originals, George, a real, almost like a big brother or father-like figure in so many different ways, such a mentor, such a bold spirit, a loving person, and a great skill and talent and energy. How do you describe George in your own words, and the impact he made on Celtic Thunder and the relationship you had with him, Neil?
Yeah, you know, I mean, the first thing I noticed, I suppose, was George's big voice that he had when I first came in, you know, big man, big voice. And believe it or not, kind of behind it all, a shy enough guy. One of the funniest persons I ever met in my life. George was incredibly funny. At the drop of a hat, he could make you laugh. A lovely, lovely guy. I suppose I got to know George a lot more when I became a principal singer. And that photograph that you showed there of yourself and myself and George, that really brings me back to that. I remember that PBS promotional tour, and I think that was before I think not Heritage, Mythology. I think it was Mythology. Yeah, and I always remember on a previous year as well, I was on a promotional tour with George, and the two of us got to know each other very, very well, because the two of us were just sharing, just the two of us on a bus together, and we were taking flights together for about 3 weeks every day, and you get to know someone very, very well. And we became very close, you know. We had a lot in common when we got to know each other very well, you know. Yeah. And I love George dearly. I loved him dearly, and we got to share some really, really great times together.
Yeah.
I always felt there was a big hole in the group when poor George passed as well.
Yeah.
It's such a big personality on stage. I don't even mean just physically, but just he had a great persona, and he you know, he owned that stage. When he was singing a song, he really owned the song. That was the great thing about him. And as I said, a very kind man as well. And it's sometimes it's strange when I don't think of him for a little bit, and then when I talk about him as well, it's like a shock again. It still doesn't seem right that he's not with us, you know.
Because he was such a force of nature too. You know, he just
Absolutely.
was full of such life and such
Yes, indeed. And
energy.
that's it, Jim. And he absolutely loved with a passion what he was doing. If I had a penny for every time George said to me, he said, Neil, I can't believe we're doing this. And this is years into doing it. I'm not talking about like a year into it or on the first tour. I'm talking about years into it. He often said that because, you know, George worked in a factory as a coach builder for years and years before he got a break. And it's just, he was so humble about it, and just he cherished every moment of being on stage and being in the musician. Lived for it.
Absolutely. Wren D watching, enjoying your show, Jim. You're a great host with interesting guests. Thank you very much. Judy says, love our George. Joey, same thing. Miss George so much. Ashley missing George as well. Carol says, Neil, so beautiful inside and outside. Yep, he's one of the good guys. Judy also says, love all the guys. Fleur looks so much like her daddy. That is really beautiful as well. And nice. Matter of fact, speaking of that, there is we'll come back to the Celtic Thunder story a little bit, but I do want to show them this really precious photo that we have here that when I saw this, I was like, wow, this is really, really cool. It's so beautiful.
Oh, yes. That's nice. Yeah, that's not far from where we live here, up in the kind of up in the we're at the foothills of a mountain, you know. So there's a lot of trails around woods around here. So with the lockdown, we were very lucky to have these nice quiet footpaths through the hills that we could walk through, Jim, you know, and bring the babs with us, you know, and just strap her on the front of me there and carry her through. And she absolutely loved it. And she loves going on her walks now, you know. So it's
really,
it's
proud daddy. It's changes life, doesn't it? It's a whole new, and this
it certainly does.
Look at that. I mean,
that's true. Yeah,
that
was only taken the other day, actually. Yeah.
Really, that is really.
And I think it's funny. I think she really looks like her mum there. You know, she's. Yeah.
Do you see it? Do you see a performer in her?
Well, you know, Jim, it's funny. It's funny enough. Anytime if I come in, and I often do it, you know, when I come into the living room here or whatever, you know, in the mornings, I pick up the guitar, and if she's playing with her toys or whatever like that, I pick up the guitar. As soon as I start playing, she stops and she looks, and she just stays focused. She just looks. She's engrossed in the sound. And I often think maybe it's because, you know, when before Nicole, when Nicole was pregnant with her, we were on tour a lot, right. You know, and I'm sure Fleur was listening from in there, you know. She was on stage every night, you know, as part of an ensemble, you know, listening to us playing, you know. So she really, really reacts to it, you know, which I find pretty incredible, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's a very positive thing, I think.
It's beautiful, and congratulations too. I think that's since I saw you last in the studio, that's beautiful news, and I know your family is so proud and so happy as well. And going back to somebody had asked, there's a ton of comments. Somebody had asked, what are you going to be like when she starts dating guys?
Oh
Have
yeah.
you already thought that far ahead?
I haven't really been thinking about that yet. So thanks for putting that one in. Yeah,
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 yeah. I don't know
yeah.
who wrote that, but one of them said, "I wonder what he's going to be like when she starts dating." I'm sure
I
he's
would
going to be.
listen. Listen, once he doesn't mind Dad coming along,
That's it,
it's
chaperone.
all in being. Yeah, yeah.
That's
And
it.
yeah, I
Ex-
promise I'll be fun. I'll be as much fun as I can be.
Exactly. You'll
But
sing, tell a few jokes, and
there you go. There you go.
so this experience again with Celtic Thunder, did you think it would ever? I know you had mentioned that you thought it was like a one night thing. I think Celtic Woman was that way too. It's supposed to be just like a one night thing, but then it turned into what that became as well, Celtic Woman. What has this experience been like for you, over the years where you have this opportunity to have so much fun with the guys, tour, and meet so many people around the world too, which is part of the bonus of all of this. You've been introduced to so many different people, even dignitaries and other, folks that are in the musical world and other areas of life. What's it been like for you?
I have to say, like, in the beginning, it was completely life changing. Obviously, because I was more used to doing my gig somewhere in Ireland and driving home. I was always doing my gig and getting home 90% of the time. To go and you're driving your own car, bringing your own equipment,
Yeah,
doing your own gig, maybe booking your own gig, or whatever it is. I could have been playing at a wedding,
right.
a dinner dance, a corporate gig, some party somewhere. It could have been anything like that, which I'd done for many, many years. I was doing a lot of showcases at the time with different original bands as well, which I enjoyed the creative element of that, writing with bands. Um, with Celtic Thunder, I always remember the first time we got to our first rehearsal, and I remember seeing my Fender twin amplifier over in the corner with my guitar, and there was pedal boards, and there was different guitars and instruments and a load of big speakers and all, and the stage was over the other end of the arena. And I just automatically went over to lift up the Fender twin amplifier and bring it over. And a guy came running over to me and he said, no, 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 no. He says, no, you don't touch that. No, you don't touch anything like that. You can't. And I said, oh, no, that's my amplifier there. And he
Yeah.
said, no, 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 you won't be touching that anymore. He said, that'll be all set up for you. And I was, right, I have to get used to this. It was usually hands-on everything from where I
Yeah.
came from, Jim.
And now it's almost like they're union, and you can't, because I know in some television studios I work in that are all union, you
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
touch the cameras. You can't even take the microphone off when you're done speaking, the wired microphones or wireless. The audio guy has to come over and do it. And in the beginning, I had to get used to that too, because I'm like you, I always want to help out. I'll carry cameras, equipment, all kinds of stuff. They're like, no, 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 you don't have to do that. You don't have, that's what we do. We're union and that's what we do. But you got to get used to it in the beginning, right?
You've got to get used to absolutely. And even down to, sometimes in the first few days, remember, I say, oh, maybe I'll change the strings on this guitar, and I'll go look for the guitar, and the guitar tech will say, no, 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 listen, I do all of that. It was kind of getting used to taking a bit of a back seat on all of that type of stuff, but down to even after shows, getting on the Nashville coaches that we have, the beautiful buses,
Yeah.
and having really nice hotels, and meeting you guys in TV stations that are just so kind to us all the time. The fans, it was pretty amazing. And I suppose because of the fans had seen us on the TV, got to know us kind of that way from seeing us on PBS,
Right.
then coming to shows. But it very quickly became a kind of a friendship with the fans, with ourselves. And it has grown over the years. And we know a huge part of the fan base we know even one-on-one to say hello to, and by first names now, which is pretty incredible, and it just goes to show how supportive that the fans have been to us. It really is amazing that they've been here for so many years and have been on the journey with us. So it's kind of like this big, huge ensemble that has been on this journey for all of these years. But it was definitely life-changing. There's no two ways about it. I always enjoyed after tours coming home as well and telling the folks all about this different world, basically, you know. And I always, my dad was really, really proud to hear this as well, because he always said to me, he always said to me, son, he says, what you put in, you get out. And he said,
that's right.
When I was a kid, even as a teenager, when I'd be sitting in my bedroom and I'd be playing guitar for hours and hours and hours, he used to have to come in and tell me it's getting a bit late. Maybe the neighbors, you know, I'd just be, you know, he said, I love seeing you practice. And he said, maybe even just turn it down a bit. And he said, and listen, remember there's school in the morning as well, you know.
Right.
So that type of thing, you know. But my dad was very, very proud, because, you know, but at the same time, I was very lucky as well to make it onto the next stage and get up onto that level with the likes of Celtic Thunder and onto the big stage. And as I said, just incredible to be kind of still here after all these years, you know. And
and you know, it's a blessing that your father got to see that happen as well. A lot of times that doesn't happen, where the parents who've always been the inspiration or the encouragement don't get to see some of the results of their love and their support and their mentorship. And that's such a beautiful thing that's happened. I'm sure very, very proud dad on so many levels.
Yes, very true, Jim. Yeah, and I remember them. They came over a couple of times. I remember the first time they came over to Boston, and I have relatives in Boston, you know, and they all came to the show, you know, and I remember seeing the folks just sitting there and looking up on the big stage, and I think they were even more excited than I was myself, to be honest, you know.
Yeah.
They're kind of they're living it. They were really living it as well, you know, which is. And what's great about the show as well, and I know some of the other guys are the same. I have relatives, you know, in Canada and in Australia as well. And it has really brought the family closer as well, because I've been able to, it's not like every year you jump on a flight to go down to Australia. I've cousins in Darwin. I love them dearly. I really do. And I've spent time with them in Darwin now. And if it wasn't for the show, I might have never got there, or maybe just once, but I've seen them quite a few times now and spent time with them, you know, and the same with my relatives in Boston, you know. It's been on a pretty much on a yearly basis, which has brought us closer together, which is, you know, it's great. And as I said, it's the same for some of the other guys as well, with relatives around the world. It's brought us all together a lot tighter, you know. So there's so many positives to be taken out of it, even besides the music, you know. Absolutely,
my friend. Melody says the friendship comes from the personal interactions, and that's exactly what it is. It's those personal interactions and being, you know, authentic and real, and that's the beauty of it all. And speaking beauty of it all, we've got another great photo here.
Oh, yes.
we did our research here at the Jim Masters Show Live, Neil.
I'm trying to remember where that one was. I'm not sure if that could have been in Dubai.
In Dubai, really?
Yeah, I think that was on the way home from Australia. We had done a tour in Australia, and I was actually, it's either in Australia or it's in, because as you can see, I have a bit more facial hair there than I usually.
Yeah, it looks cool. So do I. The last time you saw me, I didn't have this long hair and this facial hair, for sure.
And that's, Jim, and I know it's not on a tour, because Sharon Brown wouldn't allow me to have a beard like that, you know. So
Celtic Thunder.
She likes it, clean shaven, you know. And I think she's right too. But yeah, I think it's either in Australia or it's in Dubai. It's on the way home from Australia. But yeah, you got to. I don't remember seeing that photograph. That's a good one. I must get a copy of that one off you.
I tell you, we did our due diligence here. Here's another great one.
Oh, yes. That's in Ireland. I think you know where that is. I think that is in Howth, in North County Dublin. It's Howth is a beautiful place. It really is a gorgeous fishing village, and it has a cliff walk up on the top of the hills that looks over the sea.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's really good. It's a lovely place, Jim. If you're ever coming over, it'd be worth a visit.
Actually, I was supposed to be on a TV shoot this spring in Ireland, and then also San Antonio, Texas, and Florida. But because everything going on with the no travel and restrictions and the planes and everything with the television work for those particular projects has been, and that's for a TV news show I do in New York. We're supposed to be doing interviews. That's been sort of on hold a little bit until, you're able to start to do that again. But hopefully we will be, everybody's excited and everybody's like, when you're in Ireland, look us up. We're going to be waiting for you, and check out some of the family there as well. So Celtic Thunder. And then you form this fabulous relationship with Ryan, with all the guys, but then Ryan, and you put this idea together of creating Byrne and Kelly. Tell us about the inspiration to do that, Neil, and how that really came about, because that has, in addition to the success of Celtic Thunder, that has its own fans and success that's developed for you guys as well, right?
Yeah, Jim. It's do you know what I have to say? I have to thank the fans and supporters of Celtic Thunder for that, because going back when we first started Byrne and Kelly, it was first called Acoustic by Candlelight, because we were actually on, it was in the early days, we were on a PBS promotional trip, and myself and Ryan had been singing some tracks in the studios as part of the promotion, and some of the supporters and fans were in helping out, answering the phones. And
that's right. Yeah.
You guys sound really well together. Would you not think of maybe, putting a duo gig together or doing something like that? You sound really well.
Right.
And we were sort of, geez, great idea. And thanks for saying that, actually, And then a few more people had said it on that trip, and then we kind of said, well, maybe we could try something, So we put a set list together, and I'm talking about a loose set list now. This was, what songs do you know, and what songs do you know type of thing. That's basically how it went, Jim. It was, and we picked songs from past set lists that we both had, from back at home, and of course a few songs from the Celtic Thunder show as well. So we put these together, and I always remember one of the first gigs that we went to. We walked in and we were playing in a bar. We called this bar and we said, how would you feel about us promoting your place and coming in and playing a gig called Acoustic by Candlelight, and we can assure you that there will be people here to see it, So they were happy enough with that.
And I think this is that, right? Acoustic by Candlelight.
Yes, I'm trying. Yeah. That is that. Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying to think. That's Dave Cook with us as well. Dave used to be a musical director on the road, But and I always remember going to that venue, that pub, and the strange thing was when we walked in with our gear, the crowd just stopped talking.
Yeah,
they all stopped talking because it was most of the supporters of Celtic Thunder that were there. And they were so good to support us on our first gig. But the strange thing was when we were setting up the speakers and we were plugging in the amplifiers, we were putting our guitars in tuning, but you would hear a pin drop in the place, but yet full. You know what I mean? So it was a strange feeling, but we never looked back from then because we enjoyed it so much. It was actually really, really good. And we kind of just, one thing we did do, and I'm happy we did do, Jim, was we worked at it consistently, and we constantly do work at it. And we work at it because we want to make the product better all the time. And we like it when we really started getting into writing original music. That's when it really kind of took off for us, where we could tell our own stories through the music, you know, about our own ancestry and about history, you know, hence like echoes. That's where echoes came from, echoes of the past, you know, and with a lot of stories to tell. So our whole show has become stories through songs, basically, you know, and we're really enjoying that, you know, and it opens up your mind and your brain to be creative and
there's
find
echoes. Yeah.
There's echoes. Yeah, that's
People love that. When Ryan was on, they were just, I love echoes, I love echoes, I love echoes. That really was a labor of love for you too, huh? That
It
project?
was, yeah, it was indeed, Jim. Yeah, it was kind of it was a big undertaking in the sense that, you know, it was our first real originals album, and so when you've released an album before with kind of already big hits like Raglan Road and Fields of Athenry, you're kind of, in a way, those songs are converted already for you. People love those songs already. So when you're releasing your own music, you know, it was a little bit nerve wracking. You're kind of going, God, I hope people are going to enjoy this, and I hope we're on the right track doing this, you know. But luckily, it worked out for us, you know. And then with the storylines behind the songs led us to documenting it and releasing the Echoes, the documentary. And that I have to say, they were some of the happiest days of my life. Was that documentary and talking about the back songs and visiting the places in Ireland, you know, that we were writing about, you know, and it was really wonderful.
You know, when you have an opportunity to experience things like that, it's tough to replace those memories and the joy of all of it. You have another great one, which was acoustically Irish. Tell us about that one for folks who might not be familiar with that one with you and Ryan.
Yes, absolutely. That brings me back. Looking at the cover there, that was in
Yeah.
Dublin City. Dublin City, we took that shot there, you know. Acoustically Irish was the first album we recorded together. And I suppose we wanted to cover the songs we loved and some of the Irish and Celtic standards. Like I said, like Raglan Road, like the Fields of Athenry, Willie McBride, the likes of those songs, you know. And we still play a lot of those songs on the gigs, and we always will, because I think people, those standards, people, they never get tired of them, and we don't get tired of playing them. They've lasted through the ages, those songs, and they always do, and they're recovered because they're so good and the melodies are so good. So I think that was a very important album for us to maybe to record first. And plus it really helped us find our sound as well when we went into the studio. You know, you're taking songs from different genres, and you're putting your own stamp on them. So it really helped us. We wanted to do that before we delved into our own music, was really find the Byrne and Kelly sound, you know. And it's funny, we're still refining the sound as we go along now, you know. We're still finding different things that have become more of a stamp, if you like, you know. It might be a certain color off a certain instrument that we go, okay, yeah, that's really our, that's yeah, we really like that, you know. It could be the sound of even a bowron, or it could be certain tunings that we're using, open tunings on guitars or stuff like that, you know, modal harmonies. So yeah, we're constantly molding all the time, you know, but it's great because it keeps the creative juices going all the time. But Acoustically Irish was definitely the start of that.
It's a great album too, and so many people are commenting about that one. This is more recent, right?
That's right. Yes.
Just ballads.
Yes, and that the front cover on that is, it's taken in a pub down in a place called Duncannon. Excuse me, down in South County Wexford, actually just bordering Waterford there.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful little place. It really is, gorgeous little place. And yeah, because over the years we'd recorded a lot of ballads, and we played live a lot of ballads. We were actually making a list of all the ballads that we were saying. We talked a lot to fans about the songs they love. And a lot of people, most people have kind of tended to go pick out the ballads rather than even the up-tempo songs that really go to the heart for them, you know.
Right. Yeah.
And I can understand why as well, you know. There's usually the writing behind it, so there's a lot of sentimentality as well, you know, and beauty behind it. So we said, let's put a collection of them together and let's record some of the songs we haven't recorded yet, like even our version of Caledonia, songs like that. And so that's what we've done. We had a collection there. I think there's 18 songs on the album, you know. So it was nice to put the collection of ballads all together on one album, you know. And yeah.
What's it like going into the studio and that recording process and the sessions that you have? You must enjoy that too, huh? The process of actually creating the album itself.
Yes. I love it. I love that process. I always did. I've always loved studios. I love studio time. I feel it's like my cave I get lost in at times. I hibernate in, you know.
Right.
Yeah. And I don't know. I have my own studio here myself, which I do 90% of the work in myself. You know, sometimes we use other studios to go and if we're recording a bigger ensemble, you know.
Right.
Yeah, but I really enjoy the studio process. I really do, and I find I love when we know that we're going to start a new product. In one sense, it's kind of. In one sense, I can feel tired already. I go, oh my God, because this is going to be months of endless work, that it's day after day after day after day. And I find myself being a little bit nervous going, I'm really hoping we can create something even a little bit better than the last one. You're always trying to get better all the time, you know,
right,
and learn from the last one, you know. So I find it I find it's a very healthy thing in a way, because it pushes you. It always pushes you to be better and to be really well practiced and all that time, and put a heck of a lot of time into your writing and creativity, you know. So I do enjoy that process. It's funny you should mention that, because we're trying a reverse role at the moment. What we did with Echoes was we wrote the songs, we went into the studio and we recorded them. We're trying something different this time. We're writing the songs, which we have a lot of new songs that haven't even been heard yet. We're going to take them out on the road, and we're going to play them out on the road for a few tours, and mold them on the road basically to what way we feel is the audience are liking the most. Then go back to studio. So we just feel it might be a better approach to go into studio with songs that have, because usually when you do record a song first, bring it out on the road, even after a tour, you will notice that you have changed things on that particular song. It can be even quite substantially sometimes, you know, because it's only in front of a crowd, you know, how a crowd reacts to a song and what they react to within that song. So it's a good thing so we're trying to do it in a reverse role, you know, see what the crowd like, what they react to, what songs they react to, and what they love the most. Bring it back to the studio and maybe do it that way. So that's the next movement for us at the moment. You know, we just have to get a tour. That's all.
That's the key, is to get the tour. Right.
Yes.
Exactly. Constance says, Neil, when are you recording? Is there an order in which you lay tracks, instrumental first, then the vocal? I was asking that.
Usually what I would do is I would go in and I would put a guide guitar and vocal down over a click track. I'd have a click track down first. The odd time I won't use a click track. If it's a certain type of song that needs to be really free, I won't use a click track. So the click track is just to keep you in time, and keep everything in time. And then when you have that recorded like that, it's easier to edit if you need to edit. But yeah, I will put a guide vocal, a guide guitar down. Then I will start maybe adding some piano in if it needs piano, some bass guitar, whatever the song needs. Then after that, usually what I'll do, I'll erase the guide vocal, I'll erase the guide guitar, and I'll record them properly. That's the way. If I'm layering instruments up myself, that's the way I will do it. And the way myself and Ryan have enjoyed kind of recording, we record both our vocals together to have them like a live performance. We always find we get the energy much better when we record the two vocals together, you know.
Right.
Yeah. So
Playing off each other nicely. Yeah.
Exactly, Jim. Yeah. So and we plan to do that with the band as well this time, to go in and we'll put the bed tracks down with the band all the way through, you know. Nice. But during this lockdown, we've been working hard with writing new compositions. We've about 7 or 8 new compositions with bed tracks of them. And so we put them down, put them away. I haven't listened to most of them in months. Either has Ryan. We said we won't listen to them for quite a long time. Yeah. Then when we come back with a fresh perspective, we'll be straight away with fresh perspective like that. You'll be able to hear, no, that's rubbish. No, that's crap. Throw that there. No, that's okay. That's all right. We'll keep that one. Yeah, do you know what I mean? So it's with fresh perspective, I think we'll be able to sort them out anyway and see what's good and see what isn't, you know?
Exactly. And that's the key, is to be able to have that fresh perspective. That's how you get clarity, and then you're able to really select the songs that really work for you guys and that the fans fall in love with. I just want to make mention too, you have your own material as well, and this is a wonderful one, Sensitive Souls. Tell us about this one.
Yeah, Sensitive Souls. God, that feels like a lifetime ago now, Jim.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. It was. It's funny. I'd never had any recordings solo wise, like prior to Celtic Thunder. I demoed up a few songs, and I'd written songs with many bands, and had many albums with different bands as well. But I remember it was actually one of the guys in the studio, a good friend of mine, Michael Keeney, said to me, he says, you should maybe do something of your own. He said, well, when we'd started with Celtic Thunder within the first year, and he said, just something solo, start off something for yourself. He said, I think it could be quite nice. So that's basically how that started. And I just started writing some songs for it, you know, and it was, as I said, it was only an EP. I think there's like 4 or 5 songs on it, you know. But I really enjoyed the process, and it was something new, and it was a different feel, and so and then the Pale Blue Jak is here showing that the Pale Blue Jak. It's funny, the Pale Blue Jak, which some people might know, I kind of had envisaged for that of putting a band together with that type of material, because I'd played that type of material before, kind of pop funk with a band at home. And I'd written a lot of that stuff, and I always enjoyed that funky, poppy sound.
I love that stuff too.
Yeah, Jim, that type of thing, you know. And like you said, kind of influenced by a lot of kind of 70s ELO,
all the rhythmic, soulful Motown, and all of those sounds. Yeah,
that's it. You know, so I really enjoyed that album. It was called Faces because it was all about different characters. It was all different fictional characters. So I enjoyed writing that, but that was with the vision of putting a band together, kind of something very even nondescript, not Neil Byrne, but Pale Blue Jak, the band type of thing. Right. It never materialized, you know, because I suppose Byrne and Kelly got together then, Celtic Thunder were getting busier.
Yeah.
Which that's the way it goes anyway. But I really enjoyed writing the album, you know.
Exactly. A lot of people saying that this is always interesting. It was just funny when Ryan was on, he was saying it, and I think Chloe said it too, and it was very funny. And we had to define it a little bit for the American audience, because they said that we were having, just like you and I are having, we're having so much crack tonight. And the American audience says, okay, that's going to be in the Enquirer newspaper that Neil Byrne Masters did crack last night. That Ryan Kelly and Jim Masters did crack. Wait a minute. so Ryan defined crack, and how do you define crack? Because we're having a lot of crack tonight.
There's absolutely 2 ways of looking at that. All right, yeah. I remember kind of on the road coming to America first of all, and learning that there's certain words that mean different things here, you know, in 2 different places, you know, so I had to get used to that pretty quickly.
Yeah, meaning in Ireland it means good times and fun and cool times, and yeah,
That's it.
that's what
Yes,
crack means. Different
that's what crack
spelling
is.
too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Totally
Yeah, yeah.
different spelling. You're also a proud uncle
Yes, indeed.
for your
But
sister.
that's my niece Sophie there.
Yeah.
Which I think she has drawn onto her a tiger or something onto her face there, you know.
Yeah.
And that's my sister Gillian beside me there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And yeah, Sophie, she's a lovely girl. She is her first year in she's waiting to go into secondary school, into high school, and it'll be her first year in high school now this year. It's
And you're
when I was starting Celtic Thunder the year before Celtic Thunder, well, no, sorry, the year Celtic Thunder started,
yeah,
Sophie was born. You know, so
yeah.
now she's a young woman. You know, it's incredible. It's really incredible.
That's fantastic. That's what happens. Like I say, the time goes by so incredibly fast, and
Oh, it's scary. And Jim, do you? I don't know. I remember hearing my parents saying this when I was younger and saying, you know, oh, listen, as you get older, the time goes faster. And I'm beginning to, and I thought it was just a saying, a figure of speech. I thought it was, but no, for some reason, it happens. It actually happens. As you get older, the time goes faster, and I don't know what it is. Have you figured that one out?
no, I think it's, you know what, our life gets so much busier. When we're kids, we're just worried about, going out and playing, tossing the ball around, or with our friends, or maybe the homework we have to do, or, going outside on the swing or in the pool or whatever. But now we have all these extra responsibilities. We have worries. There's bills to pay. And our lives are so much busier, and there's so much more responsibility that's tied to it. That's why you really, as we always talk about, we have to cherish all the moments and all the people, our loved ones, our friends, in this case, fans, people who, support you and watch you as a solo artist, as Byrne and Kelly, as part of Celtic Thunder, me through my work on television, radio over the years. We're very conscious of the fans. And I know that you, being very family oriented as you are, and I'm very similar in that way. Seems like an Irish tradition to be so family oriented, but you really care about those things, the things that really matter, the simple things in life. And as we do get older, we start to cherish those things, because some of those things slip away and go away in our lives. So we really start to cherish the things that we've had and the things that we have now, right?
Absolutely, and I suppose it happens very, very easily, that you take things for granted. I know I do, and I have done in the past, and I suppose the biggest learning curve for me had been my dad. I suppose I always took him for granted, thought he would always be there,
Right.
And when some massive, huge part of you goes and you can do nothing about it, it happens us all at some part of our life, and it's a very, very sad time. It's probably the toughest thing we have to deal with in life, and we'll never, I suppose, fully understand it, really.
Yeah.
But like
did you ever sing that song, The Old Man? Did you ever?
The
That's
Old Man,
such,
yeah.
what an incredible song that is, huh?
It's a beautiful song.
Is it John McDermott that sang that, I think, originally, or one of them? Really a beautiful song, and that makes you really think, especially about a father.
That's right. Yeah, one of Phil Coulter's classics. That
Brilliant song.
Absolutely gorgeous song. Yeah, I love that song. Yeah, it hit when you hear a song like that. It hits home as well, doesn't it? You can't but think of the likes of your dad. But yeah, it's a sad thing in life. It happens to us all. But like you said, getting back to what you said, Jim, you have to cherish the time that you have here, and kind of just remind yourself when maybe you can maybe use your time a little bit better, or just try to enjoy yourself and treat people well, and enjoy people and love people, and yeah, just do the best you can, you know. And I don't mean to force it, but
No, it's
I just
true.
mean I
Well,
think if you kind of have these things in the back of your mind, it can make it a little bit better, you know.
well, especially right now with what we're all experiencing, where we're home and we're socially isolated, we can't kiss or hug or really be near people unless we have a mask and we're 6 feet apart. Um, Although there is a little bit of a problem with that, and that is not only do you have to be 6 feet apart from each other, but you have to be 10 feet away from the refrigerator. Because
Very true,
if
very
you're not
true, very
far from that
true.
refrigerator, you can
Oh,
easily,
it's too easy, Jim. It's only too easy. It really is.
for
I
any of
know.
us. But
Right.
it's so true that a lot of people have been pivoting and adjusting and just really soaking in what's really important in life, especially now with this global health situation and economic situation. And here in America, the civil unrest that's happening, there's a lot of change, there's a lot of swift things happening. And we're cherishing, again, those people and things and ideas that mean so much to us. And we've had time to reflect on that and the things that are really important to us now, like any other time I think we've ever had, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, big time. You do, it feels like you've all the time in the world to sit down and reflect on things like that, you know? And I think it's going to it's going to help people maybe have better perspective on things, you know, in the long run. It really is,
Yes.
you
Right.
know. And I think at least we can get that positivity out of it, you know, and learn to grow more throughout this, you know, because it doesn't happen very often when
No.
pretty much everybody in the world is in the same boat, you know, and we're all dealing with the same thing, you know, dealing with a massive vulnerability, and having, you know, wanting to it opens people's arms to help your next door neighbor, and help anybody out, and by doing your bit, even, you know, as they're saying on the news all the time about, you know, wearing your masks, and is protecting the person next to you. It's you everybody has to do their own thing, but it really does put into perspective, you know, kind of how fragile we are, how precious we all are to each other as well, you know. And I think we will learn some really fundamental, and get some quality out of it and the other end, if you like.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I know you wanted to generously perform a couple of things for us, and that is a beautiful thing to do as well, Neil. What is it that you're going to perform? What's the special treat you have for all these lovely
Oh, I
worldwide viewers?
Well, I don't know. Let me see. There was I was thinking, because we were talking of family, there was a few songs there, but because we were talking about family just there as well, and you were talking about the old man, there was a song, and also you mentioned Echoes there. There's a song off the album, Echoes, that was written about my grandparents, and it's usually played with a piano, and I sing it, you
Yeah.
know. But I think we'll give them do a job on it. Play it with the guitar tonight for you.
What were
But it's
your grandparents' names and what were they like?
yeah, John and Sheila. That was my dad's parents. Um, Going back, and they got married in the late 40s, and yeah, my granddad was from the Wicklow Hills. I suppose from where I'm sitting now, I'm kind of on the border of the Wexford and Wicklow Hills. So it'd probably be about, you know, an hour's drive from where I am right now across the hills. But he was from a place called Ballybrew, and from 5 generations of stone cutters up in the hills. My grandmother was from Bray, and yeah, when they met each other, they got married and had my dad and my aunt Mary as well. But sadly, my granddad passed when he was only 40. So I'm older. It's a strange feeling, because I'm older than what my granddad was then. And what I've heard from relatives, that he was a really lovely man, and a very loving parent too. And what the story was, he was misdiagnosed. My granddad got stomach cancer, but was misdiagnosed for about 2 years, and then it had gone too far. And Lord have mercy on him, he passed away. But it must have been now, I'd say about 6 or 7 years ago. My father went into the old shed that's behind the house, and behind the shed was there as long as the house, and that was my grandparents' house. Then my parents' house. Now my brother and his wife live in it. You know, so there's 3 generations living in that house now. You know. But he went into that shed, and my granddad's old bike was in there, and his tools, and an old coat that was up on the wall. It actually still is up on the wall now. And it was my granddad's old work coat, and it was an old tweed coat. And my dad went in one Saturday morning, as I said, about 6 or 7 years ago. And whatever enticed him to go over to the coat, he went over and he opened the coat. And he'd never done it before. It was just always hanging there. But he opened the coat, and there was an inside pocket. And he put his hand in the inside pocket and felt paper in there. And he was intrigued, of course, so he pulled out the paper. And lo and behold, it was a love letter written from my granddad to my grandmother. And this letter was for her to find when he passed away. And it must have been, my granddad must have been thinking, you know, because usually you go through the person's clothes at some stage, you know, but his coat was always left there untouched, you know, just, and it was always a lovely thing. And it's still, as I said, it still is there. But I wanted to write a song about the love that they had for each other, and the love that was left inside that old tweed coat, and still is there now over 70 years later. And so I might give you a quick rendition of the old tweed coat, if that's okay.
That's a beautiful, beautiful thing. When my uncle Sonny passed, my father's sister Catherine, Kitty, her husband, Floyd was his name, but we always called him Sonny.
Right.
There was always a pipe. He had one of these wood pipes that I love. I don't smoke, but I loved the smell of his cherry wood pipe, and it was always sitting next to his chair. So when he passed, I was sitting in his chair, and my aunt had noticed, my Aunt Kitty, Catherine, had noticed that I was there and I was touching the pipe, and it was actually after the funeral, and I was just taking the pipe and just smelling the wood, and she said, I want you to have it. I want you to have this to remember Uncle Sonny. And every once in a while, especially holiday time, because we were always all together, Thanksgivings, Christmases, I take that pipe out and I'll just look at it. It's a beautiful wood pipe. And I'll just smell the tobacco smell, but really the cherry wood smell. And it makes me think like I'm a kid again, and it's Thanksgiving and all the cousins and Christmas and everything. And it reminds me so much of him. So when you have something like that, you know, like an old tweed coat or something, doesn't even have to be expensive. It's just so connected with the person. Those are things that really money can't buy, right?
Yeah, absolutely, Jim. Yeah, it's such sentimental value there, you know. And it's absolutely, and just that your senses when you smell that pipe, or even somewhere else, if you're walking down the street and you get the scent of that, it brings you straight to that place, you know.
Immediately.
It's a lovely thing, and it's funny. I had an Uncle Sonny and an Aunt Kitty.
Did you really?
I did. Yes.
Well, cousins. I knew we were cousins. Everybody said that they think I'm a Celtic Thunder. When we stand together and we take all these shots, they're like, "Are you one of the Celtic Thunder guys?" They think it's the Irish part. I'm one of you guys. So, so this is to your grandparents and to Uncle Sonny and Aunt Kitty.
There you go.
Amazing. All right, here you go, Neil.
He had a warmth in his eyes, she had a song in her heart. most indelible kind, right from the start. Two worlds would collide, hearts would beat like a drum. In that old tweed coat was love, only love, only love, a lonely love. He'd come from miles and miles, over mountains he'd ride. No journey too long, just to be by her side. Her hairs entwine as they walk on the shore. In that old tweed coat was more, only love, only love, a lonely love, only love. Time in the years, laughter and tears, gone with the wind and the rain. Boy from the hill, too soon to be still. Now they have come to carry him home. Their lives have been one, but now they're apart. But the words in their coat, next to his heart, they spoke of his love, which still remains. For that old tweed coat contains only love, only love, a lonely love, only love, only love, only love.
Bravo. Really, really
There you
touching.
have it.
There you have it. It is that is really, really beautiful, and I think that's a song that really touches near and dear to the heart, and beautifully done. Everybody's saying they love this acoustic version that they're hearing. Danilo in San Diego, angelic voice with a heart of gold, full of love. Donna Vandenberg saying, I love this with just the guitar, very special. Lots of claps from Marcia Murphy Watson. Julie loving it. Kathleen Walker, New York City, loving it. Margaret says thank you. Joe Megan says, wow, amazing. Paula says beautiful.
Thank you.
Marion says, when are you going to interview Nicole, Jim?
Yeah.
That's like, I'll have to come to Ireland. Becky Abbott says, perfect. Denise, they were all saying before, when they knew you were going to sing this, they were getting their tissues ready. Tears, memories of their own grandparents. Ben and Betty are flooding back. Beautiful, love the song from Jazari Cunty. In tears, hit straight to the heart. Lorraine says, beautiful, Neil, as well. Debbie's in tears. You know, it's really beautiful when you can reach people that way through music. They might not have known your grandparents per se. However, the song touches deep. A really effective song is one that really touches people in such an immediate and long-lasting way, as you know, as a songwriter. And this one here, really beautiful. This is such a special song. My favorite on Echoes, that Sharon sang that, Sharon Blackmore.
Yeah, it's funny because I found, like, even through this song, you know, I've talked to a lot of folks that have had, you know, just talked about their grandparents, and they were saying that, you know, it makes them think about their own grandparents too, you know, and the love that they had for each other and the love they had for their grandparents too, you know. So it's I'm so happy so many people got so much out of it, you know, which is really nice, you know. It was nice. It was the first time I've played it on guitar, so it was nice. It was nice to do it like that for a change. It's usually on the piano now, so it's good to give it another little characteristic, you know.
Absolutely, so beautiful. Yes, the acoustic version is gorgeous and touching. Really, everybody loving it. Really loving this. Neil is also a wonderful storyteller. Yes, the Irish are known for that. We're known for being storytellers, that's for sure. This hit my heart and soul. This hit my heart and soul.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. It means a lot.
Love your voice. Valerie, of course, our friend Valerie Porter, bravo, great interview. Was there one other that you wanted to share with us before we wrap? Is there another song you wanted to if you'd like me to do something else, or you'd like me to keep talking, sure,
we can do that for a while. It's up to yourself, you know.
Yeah, do you want to pick something else and strut for a little bit? Sure, yeah.
Well, I might do a quick rendition of a song that brings me back to the first tour with Celtic Thunder, and it was I remember it was a big night in my career. It'll probably always be one of the biggest nights in my career, and it was when we played in Radio City Music Hall in New York. And I always remember looking down in the front row, and the amazing and incredible Jimmy Webb was sitting in the front row. If I wasn't nervous enough, you know, and I was going, my God, one of my heroes is sitting in the front row. What am I going to do here? So it was pretty incredible. And one of my favorite singers of all time, which is Glenn Campbell. Glenn Campbell, Lord have mercy on him, he sang this song like no other. And when I have friends over to my house, I usually put on Glenn Campbell in the background. It's just a beautiful atmosphere, and his voice lights up the room, you know. I love it. So I was thinking of maybe giving a quick rendition of the Wichita Lineman, maybe. I might do something there. Jim, you're very welcome to come in on some harmonies now.
That's a great one. Somebody was asking, actually a lot of people have asked, how many instruments do you play and how many guitars do you have?
How many? Well, my main instruments were always obviously guitar and bass guitar. I played bass guitar as much as I played lead guitar. I started off on drums as a kid, always loved percussion, so I always enjoy recording percussion. I suppose piano, I use piano. I don't call myself a piano player, but I like to use piano for writing certain types of songs. I think it can kind of the piano can open up the orchestra for you, if you like, you know. It just gives a lovely open vibe. Yeah. So Dan, I suppose that the likes of the mandolin, I play a little bit of the mandolin as well. At the moment, in lockdown, I did buy a bodhrán.
They've been asking about that. Have you been, training and getting used to it?
I need to kind of, do you know what? I kind of, in the beginning of lockdown when I got it, I was playing it quite a bit and really kind of getting a good handle on it. Starting to get a bit of a handle on it. Then started to get really busy. With many things, with studio sessions and obviously like stages with CT and writing and all that type of thing. So it kind of came away from it a little bit, but I absolutely 100% I really want to get it to a stage where I can get it play it on stage, you know, because I've always loved the bodhrán. It's a great instrument, but I've a little bit to go yet. Really do.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So stay tuned. That's a little teaser. You may see him actually doing that down the line on tour. Who knows, right?
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. Please God. Please God. We'd give it a go.
That's it. Once again, here's your intro. The incomparable Neil Byrne.
Okay, here we go. I am a lineman for the county, and I drive the main road, searching in the sun for another overload. I hear you singing in the wire, I can hear you through the wine. And the Wichita lineman is still on the line. I feel I need a small vacation, but it don't look like rain. And if it snows that stretch down south, won't ever stand the strain. And I need you more than want you, and I want you for all time. And the Wichita lineman is still on the line. And I need you more than want you, and I want you for all time. And the Wichita lineman is still on the line. Is still on the line. And doing fine.
Really nice. Really nice. Right. What kind of guitar is that you're playing now that you have there? It's got such a beautiful sound.
That's it's a nice, that's a Taylor guitar. You can see there. I really like this guitar. This is the one I take on tour mostly. It just has a nice kind of round sound off it, you know. It's very balanced, you know. So I really enjoy this guitar, and it's it just for the sound that we go for, it works, you know. So
just looking at all these comments here, bravo and love it and dynamite and clap 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 and beautiful. Good heavens, that voice, wow, beautiful, wonderful, Neil. They're loving the sound of the guitar as well, and
oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Many people loving our conversation too, loving the interview that we're having, which I am as well. You when you look at all of this, because I know you have to get up early. You have to get up with your lovely, precious daughter, and that's very important. So we want to make sure we're on track with the timing. But when you look at all of this, Neil, when you look at all of these wonderful things, this great relationship with Ryan, of course, with Byrne and Kelly,
yes, the
years with Celtic Thunder that still continue. And we're talking about from 2007 on. It's extraordinarily unbelievable when you think the 13 years together, your solo work, all the places you've had an opportunity to go, all the music, all the storytelling, all the good times, and none of it, is easy. As I've had conversations with lots of folks on the show, what we do as creative people, as artists, as on-air people, or musicians, or hosts, or whatever roles we're playing in the public eye, there's so much hard work and so much effort that goes into all of this, starting from the very beginnings and the first inspirations that you've had in your life of your dad and your family over the years. And when you look at all of this, what are some of the things that truly come to mind? I love this shot too. I didn't show it earlier of you and George.
That's right, yeah.
It's really a beautiful shot. When you look at all of these things and these blessings in life for you, what are some of the first things that come to mind for you, Neil?
Well, you kind of said it there, Jim, when you said blessings, because I do feel really, really blessed, to be honest with you. I'm extremely lucky to have gone down the road, and the doors that have been opened for me. I feel extremely lucky. I've met so many great people, both on tour and off tour, and have the best of friends through what I've done as well in the music scene. And like you said even earlier, you can't take things for granted. So you have to really cherish these things, and you learn to kind of develop that as you get older. You really do. And I think it's funny. I'm loving it even more now than I did when I first got into it and was kind of learning the ropes at the time.
It's amazing how that happens, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, because you get a bit of experience, and I suppose you become more comfortable at what you do as well. But especially that, when I'm so lucky when we know that we look out at an audience that these people are coming because they to see us because they really enjoy the music, and it enhances their life. And because they're coming, they're enhancing our life. They're enhancing my life. It's a wonderful. It's just a really, really wonderful journey we've been on, and we're on now. And I do say to myself that sometime at some stage it will all end, when maybe I'm too old to go out on tour or for whatever reason. And but you know what, I'll always be able to look back and really just cherish it with the best, the very, very best of memories, and say literally I met hundreds and thousands of people, wonderful people, absolutely wonderful people, through this journey and through the beautiful world of music it is. And it just amazes me. And as I say, as I get older, I notice it even more. But how music brings people together, it's an incredible thing. It really is. There's many gatherings that we've done with obviously with Celtic Thunder across the years and all, and with Byrne and Kelly, we do the likes of the retreats that we do, and we're just surrounded by beautiful people. They're just the best of people, and they would do anything for you. That's the thing as well. There's the kindest people, and we're just you can't want for more than that in life. You know what I mean? I count my blessings that I feel very content in life, and now that my daughter's here as well, it's amazing. So I just wanted to keep going as long as possible. That's all. You know that way.
Yeah. Did you ever think when you were that kid those many years ago that life would turn out in the way that it has? All these wonderful things that have come, and like I mentioned and you mentioned, these extraordinary blessings and incredible things that have happened in your life. Could you have ever imagined it? Were you determined as a young kid? I want to be out there doing my thing, or did it just come along for you?
No, as a kid, like from the first sense, I think from the first time I went to my dad's rehearsal, and it was the Dalkey Island Hotel in Dublin, near Killiney there. The first time I went to that as a kid, when I seen my dad playing, I never kind of looked back from then. It was always ingrained in my head. I suppose it was like a child, when a child gets an idea that they want something for Christmas, and they cannot get it out of their head for the whole year until Christmas comes, till they get it. They want that, and they have to have that type of. It was kind of a little bit like that, a child. I had tunnel vision, absolutely tunnel vision, and but as my dad gave me great guidance, and he said, listen. He said, the music business can be a fickle one, it's sometimes there's great musicians out there that mightn't get to make a decent living, let's say, and it's hard for a musician, let's say, even to walk into, say, a bank to get a mortgage or something like that, because sometimes you don't know when your next show is or your next gig is, and that's the way, and I've been in that position before. So I've been very, very lucky to have got the guidance from my dad as well, about him telling me to put the work in. And he says, you'll see the fruits of your labor if you put the work in, and I think he was really glad to see that too, but at the same time, I do count my blessings, because I was very lucky to be sometimes in the right place at the right time, and that's how it can happen,
That's the key, right? Absolutely. And seizing those opportunities and, sharing them with the world. Neil, this was really amazing. And we really thank you for all the time. We probably went even past what we were going to do. Just it rolls,
An absolute pleasure.
Oh, my pleasure as well. And it's so cool, catching up with you as well. It's since we saw each other in the studio last, all these incredible things happening in our lives. And then, of course, this year, with all the unprecedented things that have been happening that we've been dealing with, it's so good to see that you're in good spirits, you're in good health, you're surrounded by love, you're still creating. I'm blessed the same way. So we're very blessed, lucky lads, aren't we?
Very true, Jim. Very, very true. And I want to say as well, I think it's extremely positive what you're doing there. The show you have is fantastic. It's going to bring, and does bring, a lot of happiness to people. You're bringing musicians in and artists in, and having a very, very positive talk about their life, and bringing a lot to your listeners and your viewers, and I hope everybody out there, this is gonna, I think it's going to spread. It's going to get huge. It's big now, but it's going to really spread, because it's such a positive thing that you're doing. So I hope a lot of people subscribe.
Your lips to God's ears. Absolutely. Lots of levity, as we call it. That's the word that's sort of developed on this show, is levity. So all of the viewers, and they've been saying it, the viewers call themselves levities. They say this is Levity Hall on the Jim Masters Show Live, because it's all positive energy, inspiration, good times, nothing too heavy. But we get into some really good, deep conversations too, which I think is all part of it. I love doing that as well. And you know that from the conversations we've had in the studio. But what was nice about this is we got a chance to expand a little bit more, because when we are in the studio, it's a little bit of a quicker thing, and then we have to get to the tickets and the DVD and the CDs and all those goodies. Here we really get a good sense for the audience who know you as your fans, but maybe new folks watching who watch this show, to get a good sense of why you do what you do, some of those early inspirations in your life, the blessings that continue to come into your life, the music being part of that blessing, the great friendship we've had over these years and continue to have. And I look forward to continuing that. And really, I really appreciate all the time and performing and going through the wonderful photos and the memories as well. It's really cool stuff, my friend.
Oh, it's been an absolute joy. And thank you very much for having me. And thanks to everybody for for listening in and watching in. Really appreciate it, guys, and the support as always.
Lots of great Maryland and Wichita, Kansas blessings. What a special evening. Thank you, Alana. Love and best wishes to you, Nicole and Fleur. Agree with Neil and Jim Lovety. That's Beth Steele, Grunenberg, Paula, Lyons, Moses. Thank you, Jim and Neil, for a great evening of conversation and music. Look forward to the next show. Lovety to all. Melody, Jim, you're a really good interviewer, new to your show, but I'm enjoying it so much. Thank you, Melody. I hope you will continue watching. We're on every single night. I can't believe it. Every single night live.
That's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. Yeah.
Some really good stuff here. Margaret, good night, Jim and Neil. Kathy says, thank you for spending the time with us. Sherry says, what an amazing interview again tonight. Love the Jim Masters show. Thank you very much. We love you and your music, Neil. Thank you for joining us. From Francis.
Thanks, Francis.
Wonderful chat, sharing your life, Neil, your amazing music and talents. I love watching these. Thank you for doing it. I hope to see you live, Neil. I've been to the concerts. I've even emceed some of them, and Neil is fantastic. Neil and Ryan are fantastic. Celtic Thunder is fantastic. The guys have such a good time, and that's what it's about. You feel what Ryan said, which I agree, and it feels the same way tonight with you. It felt like this conversation, this chat that we were having, like we were sitting in a pub, having a couple of beers, just chatting.
Yeah. It's very, very relaxed. It's lovely. It's really nice to do it. Yeah. It's
great stuff. So everybody loving it. And do you prepare for every single night? I sure do, Paula. It's a lot of work, as Neil knows. All of this, the key is to make all this look easy, right? All the stuff we do.
That's it. Yeah.
Christine
when you
says,
do the hard work behind the scenes, you can come on and like you said, we can relax and enjoy it. You know that way.
Absolutely. Yeah. You're the best, my friend.
Thank you very much, Jim.
Toast I really you.
Thank you, sir. I have nothing on me at the moment.
That's okay.
Listen.
You played.
Yeah. Yes. Well, listen, we'll be back for more at some stage, you know.
Yeah, like I said to everybody that comes on the show, the door's always open, my friend. Anytime you want to pop on, we don't have to go as long as this. We can go short, however you want to do it. But really a blessing having you here, and I wish you nothing but best of health, great continued success. I'll be seeing you again soon. Can't wait to break bread with you again. And you're the best, Neil. You're the best. I'm glad we formed that relationship in 2007. I can't believe it's been that long. And we've stayed in touch all these years. We stayed in touch, which I think is pretty cool. Doesn't always happen in these industries.
I know. Very true. But no, it's great. It's really, really great.
Now,
and I'm going to be watching in as well on your next episodes. I'm a fan. It's great. It really is. So as I said, it's so positive what you're doing. It's great, Jim.
I appreciate that. We got Paul Byram next Sunday, and then Colin Keegan coming on.
Great stuff.
You get some sleep.
I go before
busy weekend.
My human alarm clock goes off. Yes.
Thanks for everything, Neil. You're the best. It was a real pleasure.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
You take care. You have a good night. Get some sleep, and we'll talk to you again soon. Thanks for being on the show.
Absolutely.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. Fantastic, huh? We really appreciate the time. We were going to go a little bit shorter, but we played a couple of cool songs, which we appreciate. And the conversation just rolls, and all these fabulous comments coming in here. We thank my buddy Neil for spending this amount of time with us. He needs to go to bed too. Like with Ryan and Damien and any of us, you get us guys together, us Irish lads, and we'll tell stories, and we'll go down memory lane, and we'll chat, until the sun comes up. It's just in our nature. We'll perform, we'll chat, we'll tell you guys stories. It's just what we love to do. Neil is really an awesome guy. And what I like about Neil and all the guys, they're the real deal. The Neil that you just saw now is Neil. He doesn't put anything on, you know what I mean? And I think a lot of you, probably those of you who've met Neil and some of the other guys at meets and greets through public television, but just even, other things that they've done in their careers and Neil has done, you find that the real deal. Neil is Neil. He's not any different on stage. Maybe a little bit more animated because of whatever the song is or whatever you got to do performance-wise, especially if it's like a television special. But as far as meeting them and meeting Neil, he's the same guy, and I think that's what's really cool about it. Thank you very much, Jennifer. Great, fun, magical show. Neil and Jim, great craic. That's what it is, and we will explain that again. In Ireland, that means good times, fun, joviality, joy. For those of you watching for the first time, welcome. I'm here every night live, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. It's midnight in Ireland, 1 a.m. in Holland, morning in Australia. But the cool thing is, all of our shows, including this episode, you can find on YouTube. That's right. This is an entertainment lifestyle talk show series. As you can see, we have a lot of fun when we have guests. Sometimes we have music, we do food, we go on location, we do all kinds of cool things. But you can also find me on Facebook at Jim Masters TV, Instagram at Jim Masters TV, Twitter at Jim Masters TV, Periscope and Twitch at Jim Masters TV. And we invite you to subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can see just about 17 weeks of great episodes of the Jim Masters Show live. I welcome everybody if you're watching for the very first time. Those of you who you're now all called Lovities. All of you are now in Lovity Hall. Anybody who watches this show or who's a guest is considered a Lovity. And that's something that our audience created. I was saying that the show is light, love, and levity. And then all of a sudden, I slipped up and I said, Lovity. And all of a sudden, all the guests, singers, friends, everybody's been like, I love that word, Lovity. So it's a whole thing we do now where the show is all about Lovity. The viewers have said Lovity, and they call this Lovity Hall. Thanks, Adriana. We appreciate that. Thanks, Jim, for a great chat with someone so amazing as Neil. Absolutely. Barbara, you've been following since 2007, Becky. Yeah. That's when we first met, actually, when he came into the TV studio with the Celtic Thunder guys, George and Ryan and all. Thanks, Jim. Great interview. Thanks, Neil. Love you. Little picture freeze frame there. Don't you love when the pictures freeze on these with Wi-Fi? Wi-Fi can make you look fantastic or make you look crazy, because if the picture freezes, because the internet is something different. It's not like being in a television studio necessarily, or a radio studio, or on stage. Sometimes you get a picture that freezes and you're like, gee, did it have to freeze with me looking like that? Couldn't it freeze with me looking like it? Never, pictures on the internet never freeze up when you're like, it's always when you're like, I don't know who's playing. There must be gremlins in the internet. Anyway, good night. And you got to have levity. I'm all about having good fun. Yes, he'll be back. All the guys will be back. We do have, I want to let you know, tomorrow we have an amazing actor. Eric James Morris is our very special guest tomorrow. He's a brilliant actor, lots of films, television shows, and so much more. Great craic, yes. And also coming up on next Sunday, I'll do you a little preview here. Next Sunday, Paul Byram will be here next Sunday. He used to be with Celtic Thunder. He also has his own brilliant solo career. He's going to be with us. And also Colm Keegan, formerly of Celtic Thunder as well, or with Celtic Thunder, still with Celtic Thunder, and doing his fantastic solo career as well. And he's got a wonderful story to tell. He's going to be here on the 13th of September. So Colm Keegan on the 13th, Paul Byram next Sunday. On September 24th, which is my birthday, legends in Motown and soul. I should have actually told Neil this because he'd probably want to watch this. September 24th, I have very special guests who are actually going to be joining me on my birthday, September 24th. These gentlemen are the voices of classic soul. They are members of the original Temptations, Drifters, Four Tops, and the Platters. Those are incredibly legendary groups, and they are lasting members from those groups. They have created the voices of classic soul, and they're going to be my special guests, and they're going to perform live here on the Jim Masters Show live on September 24th. Again, they are members of the Temptations, the Platters, the Four Tops, and the Drifters. They are going to be here on September 24th for my birthday, and I appreciate that. We want to thank again Neil Byrne, very special guest from Celtic Thunder, from Byrne and Kelly, from his own fantastic solo career. If you want to see this interview again, it's on YouTube at Jim Masters TV. I invite you to subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell so you don't miss anything. We have all of the episodes of the Jim Masters Show live there. And also Masters Mantras, which are these positive, inspirational videos that I do, and also other things that are in my career that are there as well. Celebrating the guys. You could also see the interview I did with Ryan Kelly about a week ago. That's on the YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. Also, the interview with Damien McGinty is there as well. And also the interviews with Mairead Nesbitt from Celtic Woman, Celtic Heart, and her own solo career, as well as Chloe Agnew from Celtic Woman. She was my special guest. We had a fantastic time together. All folks who, again, over the years, we just stayed together, always rooted for each other, always had a fun time in the studios, on public television, but also at concerts. Somebody had asked if I was at the Emmett O'Hanlon and Emmett Cahill concert in New York City. And yes, I forgot who asked that. That was like 200 messages ago. But yes, I was there. Good memory. I was invited to go to Emmett and Emmett's concert. Brought one of my great friends who is a longtime public television supporter, Marcia Lyon. She was watching tonight. She lives up in Massachusetts. And we got together, went into the city, New York City, and saw Emmett and Emmett perform, and it was terrific. There's Neil as a kid. We really surprised him with some of these cool photos, huh? And there he is, of course, with his dad. That's a very special picture. Beautiful song he sang, talking about his grandparents too, huh? And of course, that David Monroe creating that wonderful image of Neil's father's hands. There's, of course, a beautiful shot of sort of rehearsals, probably sound check with Neil and then George. Neil as a kid and his wife, of course. Sensitive Souls, the album as well. The original acoustic by candlelight with Ryan and Neil. Of course, everybody loves Pale Blue Jak. There he is with his wife as well. Great shot, great people. Neil seemed to really like these photos too in the studio with myself in the middle there next to George and Neil. My wonderful friend Elaine, co-host there as well. We've known each other for years. This is when they were in the studio. This is a cool one. This is one of the first times, again, in case you missed it earlier. A couple people noticed the goatee. You guys were funny with that goatee on Neil. And with Keith, of course, and myself. That was a lot of fun that night. Phones were very busy. We were in the middle of saying something very funny there. Got the guys laughing. This is when we did a national special on public television. All the guys are there with my wonderful friend Lee as well. This was pretty recent. This was just last year. And I was introducing them on stage, the Celtic Thunder guys, Emmett and Ryan and Neil and Damien. I'm there in the middle as well. Cool stuff. Really, really cool stuff. And again, Paul Byram will be here next Sunday. Colm will be here the Sunday after. This week, we have an amazing array of incredible guests here on the show from a whole host of incredible backgrounds. I do want to remind you that on this show, we say smile, be good to one another, love one another. I know we're living in unusual times, so if you can smile, smile often. It's all about levity. We talked a lot about that tonight as well. What fun this has been. Thank you, Ruth. I appreciate that. Very kind of you. All these comments, I've been trying to show on this show. I like to be very viewer centric. So I like to incorporate the viewers into the show. So I see the comments. I appreciate them. The guests see the comments as well when we do have guests. Good night, Jim. Thank you for this live video. Enjoyed tuning in again, hearing the stories from Neil. Levity. That's right. You got it, Claudia. Levity is our word here at the show. I hope you'll tune in again. Beautiful photos. Thank you very much, Christopher Joseph. And good, Marcia. Thanks so much for another talented guest and good conversation. Need to go. So good night. Terrific show with the two Emmets. Yes, that's right, Marcia. You were with me. We went to New York and we met, I think it was Bernadette. Bernadette, I think you were the one that asked that question earlier if I was at that concert, right? Jim, my stupid phone keeps freezing up. I was trying to say hi to you and Neil. Rhonda, I know, I tell you, technology is crazy, isn't it? Those were great interviews. Thank you, Bernadette. The Damien, Ryan, Chloe, and Mairead, thank you very much. I think the original Celtic Woman and Celtic Thunder should go on like a tour together, right? What magical crack slancha. Cool idea, huh? That's a really cool idea. Adriana. Thanks, Jim Master CV. You are really kind, great with the chats. Greetings from Buenos Aires, Argentina. Hello in Argentina. Love it. Still the meaning of crack might be a little bit different in Argentina than it is in Ireland, and it is different here in the United States as well, where we are. And that's pretty much how you say it. I mean, crack. It means fun, good times, like levity, like we have here on our show. It's like, good times. That was crack. I know it sounds funny because it's the word. It's such like a blunt word, isn't it? Crack. We had a crack, but that's what it is, and it's and magic, like Jennifer says, magical crack. And so that's the definition of it. I know when you first hear it in other countries, it's interesting to hear. You take the best pictures, Jimbo. Thank you very much, Christopher. Bernadette, good night, Jim. Lovely to you all. Yes, there it is. We always say on the show, relax, love one another, breathe, take care of one another. I'm your host, Jim Masters, and sometimes even I have to remember to do this as well. Love, take care of one another, listen to good music, celebrate and support one another. The world isn't always perfect. Not every day is perfect. Sometimes days are crazy. Sometimes days are imperfect. But we were talking about some beautiful things with Neil tonight as well, right? Great music, great conversation, great memories, but we were talking about life and the importance of the things that are in your life, the blessings, to learn to breathe, relax, go out in nature, listen to good music. While I was getting this show prepared today, I whipped out old cassette mixtapes of all kinds of beautiful music, instrumental music, lots of really easy listening, beautiful, relaxing music. I was listening to cassettes and cassettes that I've made over the years of all kinds of fantastic music while I was getting the show ready. I'm a big music buff. I've loved music all my life. Music is really big in my life as well. Played violin when I was a kid. We got that guitar over there, and do a little singing as well, an alto. I know everybody wants me to share that, but relax. You guys relax. If you're new to the show, we do this every night, actually. I might be the star of the show, the host. However, I think you guys are the stars too. All of you, you and you and you and you and you. So I might be the host and producer of the Jim Master Show Live, but I think everybody watching all around the world, you guys are the stars as well. And we really appreciate you guys joining us from all around the world. We always have a good time. Every show is something different. It's unique. We are live every night. Thank you again. I appreciate that. So many wonderful comments there. I really appreciate all these terrific comments. Jim, it's awesome how you and I could read each other's minds. Lansha, all in craic. Christine, thanks for another beautiful conversation. Many guests seem to have the same message of being thankful for blessings in life and hoping for these times we're in to end better, whenever that is. Lots of levity, light. We're here tonight. I always like to create comfortable environments, even in my professional work as a television and radio presenter and host personality. I've always done that in my professional work. So I'm just sort of taking all my years of professional work on TV and radio and sort of sharing it with all of you every night. On this show we created 17 weeks ago, this entertainment lifestyle talk show series, and it's so much fun. This is a blessing for me to be able to connect with you as well, folks who have followed me for years on TV and radio and stage, but also new folks who are discovering us for the first time. We have viewers literally from all around the world, and I think that is so cool. It really, really is. Christopher has a huge collection of cassette tapes as well, and that would be great. That would be great. Hopefully we can get, I know you've asked that a lot of times. Hopefully we can get him on. Send him a note. Tell him, come on in. We'll get it. Best interviews ever. Janice. Thank you, Janice. I appreciate that. That means a lot. And yep, a crack in the heart of levities. I know. Everybody learned what craic is. C-R-A-I-C. It's all in how you spell it, too. Thanks for a great show. This is my first time tuning in. Love from Devonish, Australia. Good day. Good morning. It's already Monday for you. It's still Sunday here. It's 9:16 p.m. So good day. Let us know, since you're in Monday already, is Monday good? Should we continue our Sunday into Monday? Is Monday a good day? Because you're already in your Monday, and you're in winter, too. Summer is going to be ending here. We're in the United States in the greater New York City area between New York and Boston. That's where we are along the coast here in southern New England. That's where the show comes out of. But we got fall coming soon. This is a beautiful time of the year. I was born in September on the 24th, so I love fall. Good to see you in Australia, and I hope you'll join us nightly. We are here. And if you miss any episodes there in Australia or anywhere else around the world, you can find us on YouTube at Jim Masters TV. And again, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, Periscope, and Facebook at Jim Masters TV as well. Yes, September 24th. That's the birthday. And we've got the Voices of Classic Soul that are going to be here as well. That's going to be cool. Good night, Jim and everyone. Another great show always leaves me feeling good. That is perfect. That is our aim, is to, and it's nice to have this little host chat with you guys before we leave too. Hope everyone has a week full of levity. Renee in Iowa, you as well. Last day of winter. Spring starts tomorrow for you in Australia. I bet you're very, very happy about that, right? That spring starts. And, oh, yes, that's right, Bernadette. You met me at PBS. That's right. There's so many wonderful people through my work. I've worked, on behalf of the folks at public television for years. I also host a lifestyle travel TV series. We went to Greece, we went to Germany, we went to Amsterdam, across the United States. That's on CW and CBS affiliates. I hosted a radio show on iHeartRadio for 18 years, worked for TV stations, networks, radio stations, on air, behind the scenes, wrote for newspapers. I also host and anchor a TV news magazine show, which comes out of New York, and daily radio shows called Close Up Television Radio. And my co-host is Doug Llewellyn, who hosts The People's Court. We've worked together, Doug Llewellyn and I, for about 16 years. He hosts The People's Court. And so, yeah, it's all broadcast media for me. Hello, Australia. Yes, that's one place I haven't been yet. I've got to go there. Clara Francesca, the wonderful actress who was on our show, she was here. She's originally from Melbourne. Great person. You can see that interview too. Oh, I want to let you know as well, we have a fantastic stand-up comedian, Jason Hewitt, on Tuesday of this week. We have Eric James Morris. He's a brilliant actor. He's tomorrow night. And then on Tuesday, a hilarious stand-up comedian and voiceover artist. That is Jason Hewitt. He's going to be here Tuesday live. It's going to be a fun night. And we'll post on the Facebook page of Jim Masters TV and on YouTube. Matter of fact, if you go on YouTube now, you can see some of the upcoming guests. And again, you know, I also do pop-up shows where it's just me talking to the viewers. And sometimes we take the show on location. We go to cool spots. Sometimes we've done music, we've done food, we do health and wellness and science and inspiration and comedy. We do a lot of different things on this show. And sometimes we have great guests too. We have guests all the way to the end of October booked every night from all different categories of life, which is really cool. Voices of Classic Soul should have a countdown when it gets closer on 9/24, your birthday, maybe like 10 days before. That is a good idea. 24th day after yours and 23rd. That's right. So are you I'm a Libra. We like balance and harmony. You're a Libra, right? Because I think Virgo ends the 22nd, I think. Yes, sounds like lots of laughs on Tuesday. You got it, Kathy Short. Absolutely. And thanks to everybody for all these great comments, too, on the Facebook pages all weekend long. You guys have been really amazing. Carla in Brazil. Relax and a great week ahead. September is coming, Jim. Yes, it is. Beautiful, beautiful month. Around here, the leaves start changing and it starts getting really, really beautiful with the fall foliage. And we could use that. You know, a lot of people have been saying, some of the guests on our show, that they're listening to Christmas music already just because they want to feel good because of the way this year has been, all the incredible things that have happened that haven't been really exciting. You know, there's been a lot of sadness this year. So some people I'm listening to a lot of like easy listening music, smooth jazz music that just I've always enjoyed, but music that makes me feel good. Watching a lot of TV shows that are nostalgic, movies that are nostalgic, comedy, meaningful things. And, you know, we're all doing that, and doing this together every night is great. I hear so much from the viewers saying that this show really makes them feel good. It makes them feel comforted, like there's some grounding here, like we're all in this together, whether it's a night where we're laughing or a night where it's deep conversation or a night where we're having food together or whatever it is, that you guys feel really comfortable here with us on the Jim Masters Show. And I really appreciate that, because that's what it's all about. And isn't that fun, going over old music, keeping up all the equipment so you can play it. Good night, Jim. Also looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. I appreciate that. And thank you, Mary Brandenburg. You're sweet, Jim. Thank you. You are as well. And Carla, we love having you in Brazil watching. You too. Danilo in San Diego. Yes, we met through wonderful PBS. Absolutely. I was counting how many years I've worked with the folks at public television. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. Night, night, Rhonda. You as well. Well, someday you can play the violin or the guitar. We can ask questions to you. I like that. You can ask questions at any time, too. Slancha. Hello, Australia. Getting ready to wrap up here. Just a few more comments. Scorpio. You've been looking forward to tonight's show all week. I know I saw her on Twitter, my Instagram page at Jim Masters TV, YouTube, and on the Facebook page at Jim Masters TV. You guys have really been looking forward to it. Well, I hope you look forward to all of our shows every night, because we have something special for you every night. A lot of work going into these shows, but I love doing it. Bernadette, your daughter Alana is a Libra. So the Libras really have themselves cut out, a lot of work cut out for them this year, because we like balance and we like harmony. And this year has been anything but balanced and harmonious. It certainly hasn't been balanced. It's been off balance. But then when I tell people, well, I'm a Libra, we crave. Usually I'm not somebody who goes with this extreme or that extreme. I'm usually somebody who likes to bring the extremes together, and we all come together and we try to find ways to work things out together. We might not all get what we want, but we try to work together for a harmonious result. harmony and balance are not at all what this year has been like for any of us. So we've had to work hard as Libras to try to find some sense of balance for everybody and ourselves, and to relax and create some harmony. So I'm doing that with this show for everybody, hopefully. And I hope you guys do enjoy the show as much as, I always hear great comments, Facebook messages, private messages, Instagram. It really moves me to know how much you enjoy the show. Christmas music, I love Christmas music. I have about 2,000 Christmas CDs of music done every way you can think of for Christmas. That's just Christmas. Then I also have a climate-controlled storage unit that has hundreds of records. Some of them are still sealed LPs, then reel-to-reel tapes, tons of cassette tapes, CDs of all different kinds of music. I love instrumental music as well. Cool stuff. And Bernadette Scorpio, as we mentioned, 23 days. I know you love fall. I do too. I've always enjoyed fall. I like fall because it's the precursor to Thanksgiving. Christmas is one of my favorite days of the year. I've always loved Christmas because in my house, my family, Christmas has always been big. The relatives, the food, the table, of course, the gifts and all. That's not really what Christmas is all about. But the house is beautifully decorated and the Christmas music is flowing and carols and levity. And it's just such a beautiful day. And of course, you have church and God's involved. And I mean, it's really all the senses from the spiritual and divine to family and loved ones to gifts and TV specials and Christmas movies and Christmas cookies and pies and turkey dinner with stuffing and mashed potato, which I love because I love comfort food anyway. And just the joy of the lights and the festivity of it all and the build up to it all and the important message that day has. It's one of my favorite days. I always hated the day after because everything's sort of, even though it gets extended till New Year's, there's just something about that buildup of Christmas Day, the music, the lights, the family, the relatives, the food, the gifts, the joy, and then whoosh. But we try to always keep it going in my family. We all get together and we visit, vacation. We usually, in recent years, we always did it in New York, where the family originally was from, New York, or we would go up to Connecticut to see family. Now we go to Florida, where the parents are, and sister and brother-in-law, and everybody is there. Though we haven't been able to go for any of the holidays so far this year, birthdays, holidays, because of the flights. Can't even go to see the family there, but hopefully we will. We have a lot of cousins and family here as well. As I mentioned, my mother's the youngest of 16. We've got a big family, both sides of our family, the Masters side. So for all those Irish watching, I'm English. Masters is English from Yorkshire, England. My Irish side is my father's mother's side. They came over from Ireland and spoke Gaelic. My father has always said film instead of film. And that's definitely the Irish sound for sure. Really, really beautiful. And I never heard him say craic. I'll have to ask. Virgo's like organization. I have Virgo rising. So that may explain a few things with having things sort of in some sort of sense of order. I like order, but I don't like to be boxed in. Does that make sense? I like to know that things are in order of some sort, but I don't like to be locked and boxed. I like to know there's some air that comes in. And yes, the pandemic certainly has. Oh, sure. Yeah. I have all of those through my work with public television. We always have had all of those. I believe you about the Christmas music. I do have 2,000, but a good few hundred. Yeah. I think I have 10,000 CDs of music. And you're right, Christine. Tomorrow's going by quickly. Tomorrow's the last day of August. Oh, I wanted to show you guys something before we get ready to wrap. I'm a photographer as well. And we were along the southern New England coast. We had some horrific storms come through here. We had tropical storm Isaias that was a hurricane. It came up the United States coast, and then it came up to the New York and New England area where we are. And then it turned into a tropical storm, and we were good here. We were blessed. I don't know, something is watching over us. Our house and everything's fine, but in, a few blocks over, other areas, they got hit. And then we had on Thursday, the storm. It was very hot, and there was a battle between the hot weather, the humid weather, and the cooler weather coming in. And this big storm, these thunderstorms that started in upstate New York, Pennsylvania, and started coming across New York, and they started coming down into southern New England and into Connecticut and through there. And then all of a sudden they said there was a tornado in the thunderstorms, and we were getting all of these emergency alerts on the cell phone, the televisions, the TV stations, alert, get into the basement, and we never hear that here along the coast. We don't really get tornadoes here. We'll get snowstorms. If there's a hurricane or tropical storm, maybe it will come up this way, a nor'easter maybe. But generally, the Midwest, the South, they get more of the tornadoes, unfortunately. Or like Renee had in Iowa, a derecho, which is like an inland hurricane. But there was a severe thunderstorm that came through that had a tornado hidden in it. And it was part of a microburst. And I was actually outside, and I couldn't even grab my camera quick enough to capture it. It was unbelievable. It was like the Wizard of Oz, but even more, because it wasn't like this swirling tornado thing. It was like this massive wall of water, rain, and wind. And the thrust of it was unreal. We were out on the patio, and we saw the trees because there's trees all around, trees just completely bending over. We ran inside, closed the screen door, tried to close the wooden door, the secondary door, and the wind wanted to come in, and we were like trying to push it, close the door. There was so much rain, we couldn't even see outside the window, the living room window, couldn't even see it. The house was shaking. It was like, never experienced any of that. But we're fine. We're good here. We were out of power for about 24 hours. We lost internet. We couldn't do our show on Thursday or Friday here. We were in the dark with the candles and everything. Again, we usually don't get anything tornadic here, but this year, who knows? You can get anything. I don't put it past this year at all. But after all of that, God, I guess, and Mother Nature and the earth said, you know what? Let's give them some beauty. So we went for walks. We're about 7 blocks from the water here, the coast. And we're always going by the water. And I'm an ocean person, so I'm always swimming in the ocean and surfing and boogie boarding. And I grew up in New York on Long Island. So we were always the North Shore, the South Shore, always in touch with the water. So we were on the coast last night. And this is what we were treated to as far as total natural beauty. So I captured that shot last night. That is the calm after the storm. Really stunningly beautiful, the way the clouds are, the lighting, the sun. This was sunset last night, right along the coast here in the greater New York area between New York and Boston, southern New England coast. It was actually picture perfectly beautiful last night. And that's what we were treated to last night. So I wanted to share this with you guys because I know you love when we share the pictures. If you look at the center of that picture, look at the opening. You can see the reflection of the sun's rays. You see the circle. It almost looks like a little mini hurricane or something, right? It's just beautiful. And you can see the orange. You can see the silhouette of the trees. You can see the opening to the water, the marsh, the marinas there where they have all the boats that go out into the ocean. But just the way the clouds, the lighting, the curvature, the way the clouds are lined up, the puffy clouds in the upper right, the darker clouds, and the opening. It's almost like it's an opening to, again, not everybody believes, but if you do, it's almost like it's an opening to God or an opening to the divine. Or maybe loved ones that have passed, or looking down on us and saying, okay, you guys got through the storm. We're here for you. Whatever it is, whatever you think it might be. It's just, that was stunningly beautiful to be. We were just walking. And then I always look up and I look out and I always notice these things, and just grabbed the camera and just snapped away. And it was so beautiful. I just wanted to share it with you guys. Absolutely stunning. The colors, the vibrancy of the colors, and the formation of the clouds, the blueness of the sky. Really, really beautiful. So that's what we've been treated to this weekend here after that crazy heck of a storm we had. It's amazing. Mother Nature, Planet Earth, and Divine, when they come together, as Neil and I were talking about, they remind us of the things that really matter in life, right? I like that. Our loved ones looking down. God's artwork. And you're right, absolutely. Do you know the saying, a red sky at night is a shepherd's delight, a red sky in the morning is a shepherd's warning? That's right. That's right. Absolutely. Thanks for having a great picture. Thank you very much. Jim, you should enlarge these sky pictures you took and frame them. Magical Mother Nature at her magical finest. Thanks for sharing your photos. Gorgeous colors and lighting, formations, design in the sky. You see the opening, right? Especially in, well, you see it in that one. And then, yeah, see the opening there? Right in the center? And you really see it in this one. Just unbelievable. And the sun is hidden behind all that. You can see the colors of the sun, but you don't see the sun itself. And I think it's always fantastic when it's like that. This was sort of when it was forming, and then it created that and that. See what happens when you look up sometimes? A lot of people don't look up. They look down. I mean, it's good to look down so you don't trip over yourself or in case your shoelaces are untied, but it's always good to look up because when I'm in a city, I always look up at the skyscrapers and the buildings. I studied architecture and design before I ever went into the crazy business of television and radio. So I love architecture and design and color and visual. Those are beautiful pictures, Jim. I'm now making puzzles out of yours. That's beautiful. Puzzles help you. Oh, so that's the therapy. Okay. You were telling me about that, I think, before. I'm glad that helps you. The New Love Express. Cool Christmas feel. We'll have to hear some of those. Thank you very much. Over the Mountain 100. I love that. That's a great. I'd love to know where that comes from. Over the Mountain 100. Do you go hiking? Do you live over the mountain? Thank you, Rhonda. Glad you enjoy those pictures. Willie, who lives in Holland, went to bed and is now awake. Good to see her, Willie. She's in Holland. She watches our show every night in the Netherlands. It starts at 1 a.m. for her. She could watch it, archived on YouTube at Jim Masters TV, but she wants to watch them live because she likes to be a part of the live. Wow, that's spectacular. Again, yeah, these were beautiful photos that I captured yesterday after the storm that came through. That was really amazing. I've never seen anything like it. You had a rainbow yesterday, very magical. That's nice. You watch Christmas movies all year round. That's terrific. Yes, all the love. We love all the levity you guys shared, worried about, because we weren't, we weren't on for 2 nights, and I appreciate all the love and all the comments on the Facebook page. I make a good Tin Man. The only thing is I have the heart. The Tin Man didn't have the heart, right? He got the heart. You're extremely claustrophobic, need a way out all the time. Yes, I do like to have a window, open. Exactly. Don't fence you in. You're a writer. Can you tell? Yes. They nod or wink at you from the stage, give you big hugs and smiles, and make you feel like family. Irish blessing. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. That's so true too. Yeah. You guys, yeah, a lot of people love the Hallmark Channel. You started Christmas shopping already. Wow. That's fantastic. Hope you got some good deals. I like good cloud formations. Me too. Absolutely. Beautiful sunshine. Again, wherever you are around the world, it's always good to have that. This one too, I think I showed this too. I captured this one a while back. This one really nice too. Let's see if we can find that one. Since we're all here, right? Well, let's just chat a little bit more before we get ready to head out, which we shall be doing momentarily. And I will probably be going to bed. I went to bed very early last night. I mentioned that on Facebook, and everybody's like, good, you should go to bed. You should definitely go to bed. So we made sure that we did. Couple more comments coming in here. Thanks for all these beautiful comments. Carla's here. Oh, this shot reminds you of Van Gogh's painting. Which one is it? I'll find them. Is it this one? That does have that feeling to it, you know? That's good eye, Carla. Beautiful Carla in Brazil, South America, watching right now, live on the Jim Masters show. Let's bring that up again. Yeah. Is it that one, Carla? Is that the one that you are talking about? I think you're right. It does. Maybe this one too. And this one. Yeah, very beautiful, huh? Again, these are the things we should be looking at. Yes, Starry Night, Van Gogh. You know, with all the craziness that's going on in our world, we should take time to appreciate nature. Gardening is one of the most popular things happening right now. I'm an avid gardener, or I've always been a gardener. I'm glad that started when I was a kid. You know, my father always working in the yard on the weekends with the flowers and the trees, and my relatives, Connecticut and Massachusetts, always have big gardens. And so I think as a kid, I picked all that up, which is kind of cool because I love gardening as well as photography. And you guys have also sent me some photos. If you want to send some photos, we'll do a show coming up where we'll chat and we can show photos from viewers from around the world, which I think is a beautiful thing as well. And missed an episode, want to watch this again, you can on the YouTube channel. Share the lovity. Hope you can subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. And what we're going to do, usually we do Viewer of the Week tonight, but I think I will allow our Viewer of the Week to continue enjoying. That's Linda Odell from Florida, who's our Jim Masters Show Viewer of the Week. We do a Viewer of the Week each week. And what I do is I pick a viewer who's been watching the show, sharing the links, and just really enjoying the show. And, you know, tagging people, having watch parties, telling everybody. So every week we pick somebody who's a viewer, and we designate them Viewer of the Week here on the Jim Masters Show Live. And so Linda Odell in St. Augustine, Florida is our Viewer of the Week. We celebrate her. So you're going to get an extra bonus day, Linda. You got an extra bonus night. You will continue to be Viewer of the Week. She's been all week, and she continues to have that designation. And we'll do a new Viewer of the Week tomorrow. Tomorrow, again, Eric James Morris is our special guest, the actor. It's going to be terrific. Yes, they have. Yes, they have tomatoes, peppers, and string beans. God gave Vincent the brush to paint the sky that day. What a treat. Glad you shared. Thank you, Joe Megan B, watching on the YouTube channel. Clouds are something else, aren't they? They're really beautiful. Thank you very much, Bernadette. Maybe one day you'll be interviewing my teen who's a performer. Well, shoot me an email at jimmasterstv@gmail.com. That is the email for the show. Maybe we can have your teen, the performer, on our show as a guest, one of these upcoming shows. Bernadette, feel free to email me at jimmasterstv@gmail.com. jimmasterstv@gmail.com. Thank you very much, Mary Brandenburg. Have an early and busy day tomorrow, so thanks for a lovely evening. Jim, Neil is amazing as are you. I appreciate that. All of the viewers are amazing too. This picture, the colors are beautiful. Thank you, Carla. Wonderful Brazil. We like to do host chat a little bit here too. Cool to your vegetables. Do not pick them and freeze them. Yes. Anybody ever do canning of vegetables and fruits? My aunts have done that for years. And I've never done it, but my mother's done it. Grandmother, Aunt Gertie, a lot of the aunts have done it over the years as well. So glad you enjoy those shots that were the calm after the storm. And again, we thank our great guest, Neil Byrne, one more time with the photos in case you missed anything. I'm in the center there with the guys. This is when I was emceeing one of their concerts. This is one of the early times. I think it's around 2007 when Neil and Keith came into the studio. We were interviewing them on public television. Having a really good time, brilliant time. Lots of crack in the studio. Good times, good times. Lots of Irish in this picture, the three of us here, that's for sure. And of course with George. Give you one more shot, Neil and his lovely wife, and with Ryan, and so much more in his CDs, and Ryan as a kid. Cool stuff. I think he really enjoyed us going down memory lane here too, as we did. We like to do that. And his beautiful daughter. I don't know if you saw that picture earlier. And with his dad. And of course, Neil and Ryan. Paul Byram will be with us next Sunday. Colin Keegan will be here the Sunday after, on the 13th of September. A couple more shots here. Yeah, we like to, a lot of work goes into the show, but we like to make it fun and informative, entertaining and educational. Originally, we formatted these shows to be only an hour, but they never go. A couple of them got close. Last night we were wrapped earlier, but hey, you're having such a good time. And especially now, it seems like everybody can use all this conversation, and the guests, they just love to share and love to chat. You know, I think they get so comfortable, and I think that's a beautiful thing. So, and again, the voices of classic soul, legends from Temptations, Platters, the Drifters, and the Four Tops will be my guests on my birthday, September 24th. Looking forward to interviewing these guys and hearing them perform on the birthday. The legends. It's going to be really cool. If Allison is still here, I got to show you this picture. I showed it a couple weeks ago. Allison Tillman, who's a viewer on this show, but she's followed me from my work on television for years. She sent this. And if you look at the top, you can see me in the upper right, and then me in the lower left, and the I Dream a Genie bottle inside the genie. Now, that's because each night we show you those cast of characters, right? And one of the things we show is the genie bottle that I have. This is the collector's hand-painted genie bottle, which was actually given to me as a gift by a wonderful friend. She knew I was always a fan of the series, and I'm a television guy and a TV trivia buff. So Allison made this. One is me sort of in mid-sentence hosting this show in the upper right, and the other one was one of the first times, a shot of me, one of the first times I was ever on radio, on WLIX radio in New York. And she put it together, and she put me on the genie bottle with the genie. So we thank our viewer, Allison Tillman, for sending that. That is really, really cool. That's a great shot. Nice work there, Allison. Love it. I love this picture of you and Genie. Totally fun and creative, isn't it? That was Allison who did that. That's cool. I watch I Dream of Genie in reruns. We got the bottle right here. We got them all. Jeannie, and of course, Jimmy in silver, and of course, George Burns, legendary comedian. This was my Aunt Lillian's. It got passed down to my cousin Barbara, and then my cousin Barbara gave it to me. And when I started the show, I didn't have him on. One night I showed him, and then everybody fell in love with him. And it's the collector doll that came out when he was 100 years old, George Burns. And remember, he played God in the movie Oh God. So he's here every night. And our recent addition, in case you didn't see it earlier, was Gilligan from Gilligan's Island. And this was a gift from Bob Denver, who played Gilligan and was also in Dobie Gillis. His wife, Dreama Denver, sent me this with her wonderful Aloha Jim, Dreama Denver. Love this. He's a bobblehead, too. So he sees all of you. We added that recently. Yes, it's going to be a great birthday treat with the Voices of Classic Soul. I really liked all the photos you shared. Thanks for giving us more time for that. My pleasure. Yeah, we usually like to show the photos a couple of different times in case guests don't get a chance to see them. Congratulations, yes, to Linda, our viewer of the week. Continuing. Tomorrow night, we'll pick a new one. I'm doing a Diamond Dots painting of Starry Night by Van Gogh. Almost finished. Sparkly Schlante. You should send a picture of that to jimmasterstv@gmail.com, and maybe one of the upcoming shows, Jennifer, we will show that. Congratulations to Linda. Love to Linda. Yabba Dabba Doo. That's Scooby, right? Yeah. Good night, Jim, and all the lovities. Yes, that's right. That's exactly where Van Gogh was from, the town where you now live, there in beautiful Holland. While you're up, here's your tulips. I know you look for your tulips from Holland, so here's your tulips, Willie, so you can sleep well again and cool to your vegetables. And the yellow sun clouds look like a peacock. Yes, you used to can vegetables and fruits. My Aunt Gertie would always make crabapple jelly from the crab apples they had. Boy, that was good. I've been in television and radio for many years. I studied it in school, journalism, theater, economics, media law, writing, producing, broadcasting, all of it, communications and all in college and in high school, and worked in many radio stations, TV stations, networks, hosted all kinds of different shows, talk shows, news anchoring, reporting, weather, did sports, entertainment shows. I hosted a shopping show where people bought things. Game show type shows, public affairs, stage MC, a whole host of different things. This show, the Jim Master Show Live, we launched as of tomorrow, 17 weeks ago. And we've done about 116, 117 shows, I think, which is unbelievable. Just about every night. The only time we weren't on was one or two Sundays where we had a family event. And then Thursday and Friday of this past week where we had a weather event that knocked out power and the internet. So this show, as of tomorrow, Monday, will be 17 weeks old with well over 115 plus shows. Amazing. Good evening, Ann. Thank you. Good night and God bless. I really liked all your photos. Thank you very, very much. You freeze and put them in that's the vegetables. Freezing containers, bags, homemade chicken soup. Oh, you can't go wrong with homemade chicken soup. I've been enjoying a lot of comfort food this year as well. Thank you very much, guys. All right. Good stuff. Boy, do we have a lot of fun even together. And that's what I do for a living as a host. I love to chat. Fred Flintstone. Thanks for showing us the picture. Fred Flintstone. Which one's Fred Flintstone? Do we have? Maybe we need a Fred Flintstone. That's what we need. I think we need that. Kathy Short, good evening or good night, Jim. It's been a wonderful evening, wonderful ending to the weekend. Can we have Irish night lights? White and orange, you're funny. White and orange, you're funny. All right, gang. We're going to wrap up. This was terrific, right? All right. I know what you want. Jennifer, you want the night lights. All right. We will do that for you. All right, crew, everybody, we're going to do the night lights. So I'm going to walk over there. This is something Jennifer likes. Jennifer likes to see our set where we don't have the studio lights on. Right now, the big studio lights are on here. This is my home studio, and the studio lights are on. Slide this over so we can really show this. This sort of moved around a little bit. There we go. So what she wants me to do, every once in a while, she asks me if we can turn the studio lights off, because she likes to see the set, because the colors change with the set. Boy, my hair is getting long. My hair hasn't been cut since March. Usually it's short, like our logo there, or shorter, but kind of cool. We're letting it grow long for the summer. What the heck, you know? Kind of cool. Blows in the wind. So she wants the night lights. So we'll do that, okay? Gang, we're going to do that. So here we go. I'm going to slide out. She likes to see the set when the big TV studio lights are off. So we're going to shut them off for Jennifer Barry. Here you go, Jennifer. There you go. We don't do this often. I think we've only done it twice, maybe 3 times. So there's our set where we do the Jim Master Show live every night. We come to you live. Lots of color there, huh? We took us a while to build this set, and we've been tweaking it as we go along. Some people asked, that picture in the back, is that a print or is that a painting of that ocean? That's actually a real painting of the ocean. We live here along the coast. So that is the set with all the different colors. And this is what Jennifer really likes. So once in a while, she calls these night lights, and she goes, Jim, can we have night lights? So there, you've got them. And again, you can see all the colors. Not a lot of TV shows or online shows or what have you would do this. But the candles that are flickering are real candles. They're not battery operated. Looks like the 2 on the right are winning over the 2 on the left. But we've been chatting for a while, almost 3 hours. And we're going to get ready to wrap up right now, gang. So there you go, Jennifer. You happy? Just for you. We only the best for our viewers. Those fabulous lights are there for you. It's really, really cool. One more shot of it. Here at the Jim Master Show Live, sort of our studio where we broadcast, and you can see all the oranges and the purples, the blues, the greens. All the different lights, the setting. And now we'll put our studio lights back on. And we will come back into the picture. So there you go. I hope you're happy, Jennifer. And the lights are still very colorful too, even, but they're really deep when those other lights are off. So I'm glad you guys have enjoyed this evening. I'm glad you are okay and everybody's good. And it makes the painting look cool, and the left side is pink and right is orange. It's really cool, isn't it? I don't know if some of you have seen where I've turned the lights, the studio lights off, which face this way. You're very welcome. It was my pleasure to turn the studio lights off so you can see our very colorful set. And you can see we've been tweaking it and adding little nuances to it. Thank you very much, Crystal. Using some of my TV background here, the set looks so pretty. Thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Kathy as well, Crystal and Renee and Rhonda and Christine, Jennifer. Jen is now very, very zen. She got her night lights. Hope everyone stays safe and well. God bless. Good night, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the night lights as well and the colors of the set as well. Willie, there in Holland. Green, white, and orange. Yes, that was in there as well. Oh, that's what that was. Yes. Oh, yes. Yabba Dabba Doo. That's what you're talking about, Fred Flintstone. Yabba Dabba Doo. That's right. That is Fred Flintstone. I love the Flintstones. I should have thought of that. What was the phrase that Scooby-Doo said? We can think about that. All right, gang, we're going to wrap up. Everybody's saying goodnight to everybody. So everybody's all happy now. Jen is zen. She got her studio lights. Wonderful, colorful set. We love it. Thank you very much. Relaxing. That's what I like. Relaxing, calm, fun, levity, energy. You guys know your trivia. I love it. Scooby Dooby Doo. Yabba Dabba Doo. Flintstone. Glad you guys love the set. Glad you guys love the show. Means a lot. So, it's all lovity here on the Jim Masters Show Live, right? It's okay to gush. If you gush with these wonderful comments, don't ever have anybody tell you can't gush. Not enough people are kind or empathetic or friendly like they should be. And hopefully this show maybe brings some of that back. All right, gang, we're going to head out. Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Yeah. Raw, raw. That's a. I'd like to hear you actually say that, Burnett. Raw, Scooby. We got a fun group here tonight. Keep spreading the word. Keep telling everybody about the show. If this is your first time, we're here every night. We have a lot of fun, great guests. And this is, it's not a podcast. This is actually, we do it like and produce it like a television show. Even though we're not physically in a television studio where I normally would be or on location. We built a home studio here. It is like a television show. Good night to Carla in Brazil and Rhonda and Bernadette and Kathy and Renee, who's still sweeping up from the ratio. Night all to Kathy and to everybody, all the new folks who joined us tonight, all of our regular lovities. Everybody here is a lovity. If you missed this episode, want to watch it again, just watch it on Jim Masters TV on YouTube. Always a blessing, always a pleasure. All of you are stellar people around the world, kind, loving, fun people, women, men, all different ages. I look at the demographics, the analytics. We have all different age groups that watch, women, men, everything. The show is welcoming to everybody. We have a lot of crack here. Good times, good times. Right, Gilligan? Gilligan says yes. Good night. I'll salute like Gilligan would with his hat on Gilligan's Island. Good night, lovities. We will see you guys tomorrow. Eric James Morris, our fantastic guest, brilliant actor. The next night, Tuesday, it's going to be stand-up comedian Jason Hewitt. He's all excited. He's going to be here as well. One last comment coming in. Mary Bishop. Good night, all. And good night to you as well. This is Jim Masters. We appreciate you being with us. It was a great night. We thank again Neil. And again, all the other places where you can find me, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, Periscope, at the ice cream shop, Facebook, and YouTube at Jim Masters TV. And Willie says, good night. Back to bed for Willie. I'm going to head to bed soon. I'm going to have an ice cream before I go to bed, a popsicle, I think. Good night, Jim. Another great show tonight. Thank you, Francis. And thank you for all your beautiful comments. I'm glad you enjoy the show. Good night, Jim, Gilligan, and Lovities. Oh, I will see that. I will definitely see that. Damien and I were talking about that. I will definitely see that. Allison, thank you very much. Since you're watching, Allison, thank you for this. Allison, you're the one that created this. Thank you for that wonderful work of art with the genie bottle and everything. I appreciate that. Allison Tillman watching tonight as well. All right, gang, we're going to wrap up. Did I say that before? I think I have said that before, probably multiple times, but we're officially going to wrap up right now. Just looking at all these comments coming in. I hate to say goodnight with all the comments coming in, but we must go by. So here's something, again, peaceful to look at. The calm after the storm. Think about this if you have a rough day tomorrow. All right, gang. Love to you all. Thanks for being with us, watching the Jim Masters Show nightly at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, worldwide on YouTube at Jim Masters TV, Facebook at Jim Masters TV. Tell your friends, have watch parties, share the links, tag everybody, and join us as often as you can. We'll always have something great for you here on our broadcasts. Thank you, Allison. That was a wonderful photo with the genie bottle and the two photos of me. I appreciate that. Very kind of you to send that along. All right. That's it. Jim Masters, thanking you for your time this time till next time here on the Jim Masters Show Live. Great show tonight. Really, really cool. Lots of crack. Good times. Love you all. You have a good night. All right. Lots of levity to you. Another one always comes in. And I love it. Good night. Perfectly said. Took the words right out of my mouth. Good night, gang. See ya. Thanks for watching the show. Have a good night. You take care. Be well. Love you all. See you tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on the Jim Masters Show. Gilligan also says good night. So it'll be Gilligan and I. All right. See you tomorrow. Good night.